Uh, Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. We got to say good morning to the gentleman on the line this morning. We're going to say good morning. We're going to go to my second left, and Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Hey, doing good, Ibrahim.
All right. Good morning, Raheem, and
Good
good morning,
morning.
everyone. Good morning, family.
Hey, how you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fair to Midland. I'm getting ready for my Black History Tour today. I do on
Okay,
Friday.
okay. I might come and go with you, man. Might
Mhm.
fella when we go over the Lake Lanier and go fish with him this morning. So if that don't pan out, man, I might have to come and go with you, Ibrahim. I might have to come and go with you. But before I come and go with you, I got to say good morning to Toussaint. Good morning, Toussaint. You gotta say Toussaint like that. Toussaint. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing well, brother. Good morning, Douglas.
Hey,
Good morning.
Family.
you like how I say that, man?
You said it.
And that's all he gonna say. And that's all he's gonna say. Captain Leonard,
Yes,
let's kick
sir.
let's kick off this morning, man. Let's talk about the political arena. What's going on in the political arena before we jump off into everything else? What's going on, man? What's new? What's old? What we need to do? I know we need to get ready for November voting, but as of right now, what do we need to do?
I think what you definitely need to do is to prepare yourself economically for whatever is going to happen.
You talking about my money? You talking about my
Yeah,
money, man?
different investments and things like that. One of the biggest things about economics is where some people all they see is ruin and destruction. Other people see profit
Mm-hmm.
and investments and things of that nature. Like say, for instance, with crypto ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. But you just have to be careful how you invest, just like with day trading in volatile markets and things like that. But make best investments. We see where we had this huge issue with the gas prices. The way
Mm-hmm.
consumers address certain things is you have to stop purchasing. You have to. That's your leverage on the market, is what you consume. So if, say, for instance, if ever,
Hold on. You say stop purchasing?
yes, you have to stop purchasing.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for instance, when things like gas prices and things like that go really high,
Mm-hmm.
you got to become super conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to stop consuming the gas, which means the less buying, people buying, the more prices tend to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you notice, like in your store, I remember purchasing certain things that a lot of people weren't purchasing at a certain time. The more
Mm-hmm.
popular those things become, and the less likely they were on the shelf, guess what happened? Price went up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Price
Yeah.
went right up.
Mm-hmm.
The way you do that in a market situation is stop purchasing. That helps lower prices because you have to remember these people are trying to make money. That's what the big efforts for is, to get you out and to keep you spending. So try to practice a little bit, more saving, especially if you
Mm-hmm.
have it to save. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't have it to save, I know we don't need to tell this preaching to the choir out there for people that don't have it. Everybody, we ain't all got that disposable income like a
Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
these brothers have on this line and all that
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff. So
Come
you
on
got to
now.
be a little bit more conservative with your money, with your
Mm-hmm.
grocery money, with everything. Teach
Mm-hmm.
it to your children. Because what we know how to know, coming from some of our backgrounds, is we know how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But you got some folks, they'll pass out at their favorite fast food restaurant, and so we have to encourage those types of things. What's real important is to watch the executive battle the judicial, because Biden has signed, I believe, an executive order for protections for those seeking abortions and things like that in various states and various providers. That particular executive order stands right in the face of the Supreme Court's issue. And some states rushed to create laws and ban abortion. And it just happened. The Roe versus Wade was just overturned on the 24th of June. So that new executive order goes in for even protections for people that are seeking abortions in other states. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because the legislative branch still must act itself as it relates to the actual law. The judicial branch, its job is to interpret the law. But Congress is going to have to create a law that guarantees this reproductive right. So I think those are things we need to pay attention to, as well as you people got to go so local to get rid of all of these people that support things that the Republican Party has been doing. We got to vote against these people. They are completely irrational. They have some of the most absurd visions for their power that you can imagine. So you're going to have to go to the polls and vote against these people. You're going to have to start being a little bit more critical. If there's a particular person in a particular level of government, you got to expose them. You need to start anti-campaigns against them, especially places where Republicans usually win. You have to have an all-out attack on these people's candidacy for the very simple fact. Someone sent me a message the other day about gerrymandering. That still happens every day. There's a gerrymandering scheme somewhere going on right now. It's to exclude your vote. They don't care nothing about you. So you can spend all the money you want. They just don't want you to vote. That's where the fight is, keeping you from voting. That's the only fight you can see where these people are throwing all this money at. Is to try to empower at. Is to prevent you from voting. They don't care nothing about where you spend and this, as long as you spending money and all with this economic power, and economic power don't mean nothing if it ain't leverage.
Wow. Let me go to Ibrahim. And I appreciate y'all kept it going, man. I got kicked out there for a second, so I definitely appreciate when that happened, man. Y'all just keep it going like y'all did. Great job. Ibrahim, what do you say about this whole voting situation, man? What's on your heart?
Well, it's already been done. It had been set. The gerrymandering, the drawing of the lines of the Republican Party has already been set. The thing is that the main thing we have to worry about is the economy, and also taking our time to pick and choose the people that we want to elect. See, we forget that. We say voting is an after effect. Voting is an opinion, right? It's an uninformed opinion, and that we don't vote for the president of the United States anyway. The states vote for the president of the United States. The individual person does not vote for the president of the United States. But as Leonard said, that we need to start at the very basic, down at the local level, from the dog catcher up to the judge, to the mayor. All these are the state congressmen, state senators. All these people are important. The secretary, as we see in Georgia, Secretary of State, the district attorney office, all these people we have to really invest in, see who are and support people, or put people that we can support, or engage with people to support. I think that we're too much into a Hollywood succession of people. We think how we want people to be. We think if they say certain things, that's how they're going to be. Now, as far as the economy, I agree a small part of what Leonard said. To reflect from my past, right? Economy is developed, and when you look at the economy, you start developing economy within your communities, and it's called co-opting. Buying things collectively. You don't stop buying gas; you reduce your need for gas. You see what I'm saying? If you stop buying gas, that raises the prices too, because people had to raise the price because the manufacturing of gas, it costs more to manufacture gas than it did 10, 20 years ago. That caused back in the 70s, it caused a close down of fuel pumps because Texas wasn't producing enough fuel because the price was so low. So they got Saudi Arabia and everybody to raise the price up so they could meet Texas demand, where they could pump oil and be competitive. So there's a lot of things going on in these things, and I hate when we use generalities, right? And I do a lot because this is a social program. We're not dealing with hard factual issues like the killing of a black man running away, gets shot 60 times, and then a guy kills 7 people out there, gets taken in Monte Carlo in hell. The guy that killed people in the grocery store, black people, man, you get Monte Carlo in hell because he's a little 18-year-old, 19-year-old white boy. And the guy gets shot 60 times for running away by 8 police officers in the dark. They could have killed anybody in that process, right? Shot 90 sometimes. We don't talk about stuff like that. But I get when we talk about generalities like this, the economy, things we know very.
Ibrahim, no. I gotta dispute that, brother. We talk about that. We talk about that as well. We don't just stay on one topic. We talk about everything around here. We talk about the people that's getting killed. We have conversations based on that as well. Maybe you missed those days, but we do talk about those as well. Let me go to Muhammad. Muhammad, what's on your heart, brother? Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, dear brothers.
Good morning, sir.
Drinking a cup of coffee for everybody.
There you go. I appreciate it. You gonna share?
Sorry, but Dr. Leonard, we don't have a latte for you.
I don't like latte anyway. I like black coffee.
You like black coffee? But brothers, I'm like my man. I'm not going to say you haven't talked about that, Brother Raheem. We most certainly over the weeks have covered quite a bit.
Exactly.
Rest the same feel I had with E-Man. When you get I'm out that game. I told y'all several times. Dr. Leonard, he really foremost, in my opinion, on the political system. I'm not gonna sit there and fake it like I can add to that. I can, but I try to stay in the field that I know. I just get in where I fit in. But I do think that everything that we talk to has to always lead to the changing the condition of our community. And there's no question that politics has its way of changing certain conditions in any community society if you put that political person in office or you put your vote behind that kind of party that would bring about that kind of social reform in your community. That makes sense. That's the attachment. Don't talk about injustice in the court system and there's a judge that's running for city court that you could put in office that could be leaning towards you and find a favorable judge that can give you justice in the court. You don't vote for them. I understand that. I think that the vote is most certainly a means of changing the quality. Is one of the means. It's not the only one.
Yeah.
It's one of the. But I do think if we don't attach it, we call it verb subject agreement. Everything we have to say has to be verb subject agreement. That's what I like. I like connecting the dots. I like, as we talk about the political importance of making someone vote, how you get these young people to understand the power of a vote. Let me doing my barbershop talks. I did 80 barbershops around the country. You want to find something that's fascinating? Go into any crowded barbershop. And in that crowded barbershop, you got an audience that's there to get there. So we call that a captive audience. They ain't going nowhere. The man in the chair, he can't get up and leave because he don't like what you say. But you have an opportunity to create a dialogue that normally these people will not engage in if you ask the right questions. But one of the things I did say in all the barbershops, that we need to make registering to vote part of being in the barbershop. In other words, when a barber goes to cut that young man's hair and he asks that young man, "How old are you, son?" "I'm 18, sir." You old enough to vote, right?" "Yes, sir," or whatever. Get up this right now, go right over there. See that chart over there? Sign your name. Register to vote right now. Okay. And then show him the person on your wall who we voted for. See this lady right here? See this man right here? That's the one we want to vote for to get as judge. So that when you get in trouble, you got a friend. Oh, okay. This one right here, we ain't voting for them. We ain't voting for him. Show his picture, Bobby. Have him while he's sitting there showing who we vote for, who we not. While you sitting in that chair, you're looking at the wall. Because they don't know. Then you tell him once he get up and sign and register to vote, "I'm going to give you a free haircut, young man." So we got to use the barbershops as the new places to register vote. They are where everybody goes to the barbershop. I said these to the barbers, put the picture up of the person we want to vote for, so while they're sitting there, they can see that picture. That's the one we vote for right there, young man. That one right there. So I think we have to use methodologies, new methodologies, that we have to go places we normally don't go. And if we're going to get people to vote, you got to register them to vote, period.
Yeah.
You got to be grand. Thank you, sir.
Good deal. Good deal. We got two people on the phone line. The next on the line was Toussaint. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning? Rico, coming to you next, brother. Toussaint, what's on your heart about? We're talking about voting this morning and the importance of voting. What's on your heart, Toussaint?
You know, I don't like politics, but I will say this. I heard some things that were said, and they're right. Because we like to run our mouth, but we don't want to do nothing. And we all crowd up at the presidential election, but the local people, like our aldermen that don't, that don't just hold offices and bring you a sandwich or two. We don't pay no attention to that. But one thing that I thought about is if we're going to stop consuming it in any way, and this is just me, you might need to want to make sure your bills paid. If you're not going to drive, saving gas, you're going to stay at home, cook your food. Cook instead of going to McDonald's. It costs to go to McDonald's, not only for the Happy Meal, if that's a Happy Meal, but you got to get there and you got to burn gas. So there's different ways to, but all of that's in vain if you don't pay your bills. Try to get yourself straight so that not only you, but the ones that's with you or behind you, your family, won't have to suffer. We be trying to get that dollar, but what we do with that dollar makes the difference.
Yeah.
What sense does it make for you to have 2 or 3 jobs, and then you have to borrow to pay your light bill?
Wow, that's true. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain. Welcome to a beautiful new day, man.
Hey, welcome to you as well. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, don't tell the truth. For every service that is provided to you, you got to pay a fee. Even if that service is from your representative, but the only fee is your vote. But he's still providing a service. He's representing you. But see, if you want services, but you don't want to vote to get those services or to put the people in place to get those services, then you're gonna be left without. So I think we talk about voting a lot, man. We talk about voting a lot, and it gets to a point where you can only say the same thing over and over so many times. But when you do have to get to a point where you have to try to convince people or change people's perspective, because we sometimes like going to these barber shops, and some of the barbers, they're making pretty good money, and they got the nice clothes, nice shoes on, and for some reason people come in and they like to listen to the barbers because when you got money, you must know something. And young black people like to listen to people that know something. You know how many times I done heard them barbers tell people, "You wasting your time going to college. Look at me, I ain't go to college." They were voting a waste of time. And then you have to counter that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sit in the barber shop and there's a politician sitting right there listening to that and won't even counter. Maybe he's in the politics for the wrong reason. He understands. I don't need to be talking to these Negroes. I'm just up in here trying to make sure I could get what I get. I'm trying to grow my career. But then you have those that come in with correct information to let them know, look, without black politics, there is no black economics. Some people might not understand that, but then you have to break it down. You have to break down the reason why voting should be a priority. You have to break down why it's so important on that local level, on that state level, and even in the higher judicial system, in the political system. About the judges, you have to break down how the vote works. You have to tell them when they say that my vote don't count, my one little vote don't count. You have to go back and show them the elections that were lost by 5,000 or 6,000 people, but 200,000 didn't show up to vote. that were registered. You have to show them the reason why somebody's trying to keep you from voting and take your right to vote. And if it ain't important why they take it, you have to get some logic and break it down to them. You can speak all the big words you want to, but if they don't even want to vote, they ain't understanding nothing about no legislative branch, no executive branch. They ain't knowing nothing about no executive orders. The only time they know them words is when it's trending. Or just being involved and interested, they're not making. They have to be persuaded to understand that these things are just as important as who's the GOAT in basketball.
Wow.
Or who made Forbes billionaire list. It's just as important. Because when like Captain D said, when you get that judge that throws that sentence at your relative a little bit harsher than that white kid sentence, and he gave him a slap on the wrist for the exact same thing, then you're complaining and wondering why. Well, the reason why is because we don't put our efforts towards the things that are a priority, like voting.
Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, brother. We got another phone call. Go to the phone call in just a second. And the phone lines are open. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Love to hear from you. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
It's about, responsibility. And the responsibility as an American citizen. I don't care how much you don't like the process or whatever. That's the way things work. And you can go do your own thing if you would like, but at some point you're going to wind up right back down there at City Hall. So a lot of people have to understand, like all these people that I'm self-made, you know what, and I can go right down here, have the health department come down here and inspect your shop and shut your shop down. I can entice the owner of this building that you leasing to raise the rent on everybody in here. Then where you gonna cut hair at? So people always try to think that it's something else. I didn't do this, I didn't do that, because that was for you. Everybody don't want to cut hair. So you have people with doing other different things. The barbershop thing is a great idea because that's what we've been doing. That's how you reach a lot of people from a lot of different areas that have a lot of different thought. Like, say, for instance, you don't even realize you sitting next to the county commissioner right there. Y'all got the same barber. Same barber. He's sitting right in. Sheriff be sitting in there. I know you don't see the police officers in there getting their hair cut.
Yep.
Because what I used to do was take voter registration and ask the owner of the shop, I got a little plastic case for you. Here go the forms. All you need to do is ask everybody how they registered to vote. I'll come back and get the forms if you want me to and drop them off. Those are like Captain Dennis was saying, sitting down, having those, I like where he said subject-verb agreement, because there's some action that has to take place. What are we going to do from talking to you in this barbershop to getting to you to polls? You tell me what will convince you to go. I'll bring the people down here to speak to you about that. If there's an issue you're not concerned, I'll go get that representative and schedule him to come down here to talk to all of you about your problems because he represents you in your district. You don't know until you try and find out. I used to be a deputy in Fulton County, and other counties may not have the same rules and things like that as it relates to how you participate, but you have a whole electoral board in all of your cities, and they control your elections and everything. I guarantee you, for some things, young people, if you sick of what the older people may be doing, I guarantee you, if you show up for 6 meetings, you could almost be the president next. You know why? Because a lot of people are not participating like they should. They don't have the consistency that they should, like we should on all our issues. Every time they have a council meeting, you need a person down there to find out what's going on, to bring that back to the community, to tell them, like Captain Dennis say, this guy we vote for right here. This judge right here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this judge down here to the church, and I want y'all to come down here and talk to this judge. Ask this judge we've done things like that. I went out to like parks in the hood. What that got to do with us? How many of y'all got child support? Now stand back over there and listen to what this man got to say. Because this man right here wants to be on the board to change child support issues. That's how that works. What represents your interest the most? you need to gravitate towards to that and support that particular campaign.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Curtis on the phone line. Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Morning, Ryan. Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Hey, everybody's doing good, doing good. Curtis, why in the world am I gonna take my time? Man, I'm a busy man. I got a lot of stuff going on, man. And now y'all trying to add something else on my plate, man. There's a little bit of little city and county election. Man, why am I gonna go down there and try to vote for that, man? I voted for the president. Now I voted for the president. I took my time, waited in that long behind line, and the hours. They wouldn't even give me no water. And now here I am. Now y'all got this little city and county election. Now you want me to go stand in this line again? I ain't got time for that, man. Why should I waste my time going to vote in the city and the county elections? What's that gonna do for me?
Because all politics is local, man. All politics is local.
Mm-hmm.
Even an election is local. How do they figure out? Think about it now. How do they figure out who wins the national election? Where do they pull the votes from?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
It's common sense, man. But people, it's common sense. It's common sense. All politics is local.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. And until you participate at the local level, then you almost don't have a voice, because if you participate at the local level, then the local level has a tendency to matriculate up
Mm-hmm.
to a national level. You understand? So that's why you need to do it, because all politics is local, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rico, what do you say to that? Go ahead, Curtis.
I'll end like this. Like, you hearing a bunch of people talking about states' rights. When you hear at a national level, folks on a national level saying states' rights, what they're doing is they're pushing the politics back. They're trying to push the politics back to the states, where a state may have a given ideology that represents what the national party wants. But they pushing it back down because why? They trying to keep it local, because they know locally there's a greater hand on the control of the people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you study history. That's how Hitler came into power. Is he started out locally, then he went nationally. But to maintain power, he was told, "Hey, man, you're gonna have to take control of the police departments if you really want power and control, because the police departments is where they're at the local level."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Good deal. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Mr. Hicks.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, sir.
Mr. Hicks, I'm gonna ask you a question. And I just asked Curtis the same question. I want to hear your heart on this, Mr. Hicks. Now, I'm a busy man. I do a lot of stuff. Why in the world? I took my time, stood in that long behind line to vote for the president of the United States. I cast my vote. Took a long time, but I did it. Now you got these city and these little small little county elections, and y'all want me to go over here, take my time, take out of my day, and vote again. Why in the world am I gonna vote on a city and a county election? What am I gonna do that for, man? I voted for the president. What else I need to do?
Wow, that's the most effective. That's where your vote is the most effective.
Mm-hmm.
Local. You know, that's where you especially with the whole turn say we're going back to states' right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where local decisions for your city and your states is very important, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you saying I look? You saying I gotta waste some more of my time and go down here and stand in this long line all over again?
You got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice for the good things. Don't wear around it. No way around it. That's a sacrifice. You got to do what you have to do. The local election that determines everything from school policy to even the police department is very, very important.
Wow. So Rico, I just gotta, I guess, bite the bullet and go out and give another one of my days away. All the stuff I got to do, I got to give another one of my days away and go down here with this doggone vote thing, city and county. Man, what? Why, Rico? Why?
It's so quick. It's so quick, and you can get out of that safely. To be honest with you, you probably won't spend as much time as you standing in line to get them new Jordans they just released. The same one they don't release for the 12th time. Or maybe the same line you stood in to watch Black Panther. Oh, we even went and made an effort to dress up like the real Black Panthers to go to the movie about the cartoon Black Panther. You stood in that line and you dressed up looking like a fool. Yeah, but that vote will help you out a little bit more. You ever said, man, I wish we had a Whataburger. I wish we had a Chuck E. Cheese. I wish we had a Cheesecake Factory. Well, you know what? If you happen to run for city council, you might be able to be a part of that economic development. You don't have to think about small business. You got business about big businesses, and you got ideas and things that other people haven't seen. You can help accomplish that. Not only by participating in being a city councilman, a local representative, or a state representative, but just using your vote and encouraging the other people that are saying the same thing. Man, you know what? I wish we had a lottery. I'm in Alabama. We ain't even got a lottery yet. Everybody around us legalizing weed and lottery, gambling, and everybody leaving the state to go partake in all of that stuff. And then you got the same people saying, man, I wish we had a lottery. Alabama's so stupid, they ain't gonna never let us have one. Well, did you vote in 1999? But. And I remember a lot of those people. I remember that we had a vote. And the people were excited. But then as I started riding around, hitting little spots, with some of the homies in different places, man, where you just came from? I just came from voting, man. It didn't even take that long. Man, I need to take my tail down there and vote. Yeah, you need to go ahead and go. It's early.
Exactly.
What time they stop? 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock roll around and still didn't go. You see them the next day? Man, I told you Alabama ain't gonna never let us have no lottery. Lit. Did you vote? Nope. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you say one thing. Because out of all the people that I have heard talking today about who voted and who didn't vote, and everybody won a lottery, if I talked to 200 people and had this conversation, I heard people talking, at least 150 said they didn't go to vote. And they look like us.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I wonder, and we're gonna change the topic and go somewhere else, but I wonder how many people stood in line to get that Popeye's chicken sandwich. How many of those people did not go and vote? Now you're standing in line to get that Popeye's chicken sandwich. It ain't gonna do nothing for you. And the line was wrapped around the building. Every Popeyes you went to, man, the line was wrapped around the building. They ran out of chicken sandwiches, man. Some of the people came to get those.
Not only were they standing in line for their right to get the chicken sandwich, they were standing in line fighting for their right for a chicken sandwich. They were fighting and killing each other. Whipping the employees. Y'all done ran out of chicken.
Yeah, exactly. For a chicken sandwich, but they won't go down there and vote. Leonard, what's the hypocrisy in that?
Man, it's just values and priorities. And we need to get back to it. And the way it works is everybody do a part. Talking to your friends, I don't care if you passing the blunt. Did you vote?
Yeah.
But you passing the blunt. You vote. Guess what matters? That vote when it comes to that blunt. Also, it don't matter what you're trying to talk about, what you trying to make more important than voting. It's, I guarantee you, it's not. You need to be just as serious about voting as you is about paying your electric bill, your car note, and everything else. Like in Georgia, you got the opportunity to vote for the first Black woman to be an insurance commissioner, Janice Laws, right here in Georgia. I've watched her run before and things, done interviews with her, all that type of thing. There are people out there willing to get involved, and they're professional people.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
blessed here out in Atlanta because we see a lot of people look like us in power. Trust me, most of the fights we have is with us. It ain't
Yeah.
with them. It's
Yeah.
it's with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's amazing for people if you don't want, if you've never seen, I had never seen a black judge. Really, I've never been in the courtroom with a black judge until I came to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That still goes on in America.
Mm-hmm.
There are still people trying to keep black judges off the bench in America. So we have to understand that there is definitely an enemy, and the enemy is using the vote more so than anything in the world. You just heard about the Republicans want to do what? They want to have certain officials to overturn the voice of the people at the ballot box. They're serious about that. So, and don't listen to people that say your vote don't count.
Yeah. Exactly.
You want to have a hard conversation with me? Whatever you talk about becomes null and void when you say the people's vote don't count. Everybody votes. We just saw it here, how that one county made the biggest difference in the world during the presidential election.
Exactly.
And all eyes was on that particular county, that little bitty county over here in Georgia.
Yep.
To determine the president of the United States. So don't you listen to no other fool, no matter what shade of color they come in, tell you that your vote don't count. Or that your vote don't matter.
And I know Tucson, that puff for pass thing you're talking about. Tucson he don't know nothing about that. Nothing. He don't know nothing.
What you think the battle about legalization of marijuana is about? The polls, the law. That's what it's about. Why we sitting in jail right now? A joint. Now you sitting in jail.
Yeah, but Tucson don't know nothing about that puff pass. See, that escaped him.
I know I wasn't going to share. I bet you that one. You don't get half my dollar. Bet you that.
So basically, with you, it wasn't a puff pass. It was just a puff.
I take my ride and come back just as high as everybody else.
Lord,
good looking crazy. And they think I'm just as sane as I can be. I'm just as crazy as them. Anyway, why you come at me like that?
I ain't messing with you, Tucson. I'm not gonna say another word on that, brother. Not now. Not another word. But I am gonna go to
the grave.
Exactly.
Take it to the grave.
There you go.
Hey, but you know what? That's a point though, because what's your interest is possibly met at the voting poll. And everybody, you know, they got people that got good jobs. And I don't want to get on into that, but they weed heads.
Yeah.
Secretly. Secret weed heads. You know, you go to the store and you can sniff them. I still don't know what it smells like. I ain't stupid. I just don't want them more.
Okay,
but
Tucson.
I don't take offense to me. I don't care nothing about politics because it's based on the way that we participate. It becomes almost a joke because it's a joke because we don't participate. We don't make a stand. We talk. We run our mouth. And one thing that I thought about is during the election season, even in our churches, they come in. And we let them come. And you know what kills me? Some of them, these folks is a bunch of crooks, and we just come on. We got city councilman such and such. He a hellraiser, and he come right up into the pulpit. We just let him talk about stuff that he ain't gonna do because he didn't do it last time.
So basically, you saying get up that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we give him the opportunity to lie. That's our fault.
Yeah, exactly.
And then because we give him a platform, we make it seem like, and we convince the ones that are following us, we say,
Mm-hmm.
our parishioners, or however you will say that, our congregation, say, well, pastor must be for it. So either you don't vote at all, or you vote for the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Y'all go ahead. I'm just listening to y'all conversation.
No, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna go to Captain. Captain, you with us? Okay, Captain, you are 20, let's say 21 years, you're 21 years old right now. With all the knowledge and experience that you've had in your life thus far. Somebody come up to you, they say, look here, Captain, I got $100,000. I want you to invest this money for us. We're both going to benefit from the return on the investment. $100,000, all the knowledge that you have to this point at 21 years old. How do you invest it?
Buy all the weed that I can get. Hey, Dr. Lynn,
That's a lot of weed.
Yeah, what that shit? There's a lot of out there.
Lord.
But number one, it's a very good point. I want to go back. I'm sorry, I had to go back. But you're right, Brother Rico. If you told these Negroes and say, listen, man, they getting ready to vote. I know they made marijuana illegal, but guess what? They getting ready to vote to make it illegal again. You think they're going to sit and then they got a chance to vote? This, oh man, I can't. Where do I register to vote at now? See, again, you have to make it to their interest.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put up on the board a prosecutor. That's our friend. Everybody need a prosecutor. Look here, my man. This brother is the new prosecutor. That's what we vote for. He understands it. Matter of fact, we're gonna have him come to the barbershop and address you youngsters. Because you ain't gonna get him to go nowhere. You can go on a basketball court and they playing ball, tell the coach, and look here, coach, I know we don't get these young people too often. Can you stop the game for at least 15 minutes? Stop the game for 15. We bringing in the new prosecutor to talk to these young people. We got to use all these methods.
Yes, sir.
Because the church ain't working. The reverend, he's going to get nothing but older people. This man, he's a friendly guy of the community. But if you want to get the youth, you got to go where they are. And I like when you got to take the person. See, the barbershop vet them. Oh, you got an agenda? You want to? Well, let's run it through the youth. Let's tell the youth what you want to do. Either they're going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do that. And there's no better place than to take them where the young people are. Because the ones is not voting. So I like what Brother Leonard said, no. So you got to go. You got to just take them where they are, man. And there's so many methods. Now, to get to your question, if I had $100,000 and I would invest $100,000, somebody would give me. There's so many things that I would invest, but I would invest, to be honest with you, in youth training. I would invest in youth training because I would invest trying to open up businesses and give jobs to people that don't understand how to work a job. It's like you're throwing good money after bad money. Our youth need to be taught how to maintain a job. They really don't know. I'm sorry, you don't go to the work, put your pants down. I'm sorry. Dude, put your hair in the bob. You wear dreads, tie the damn thing up. Young man, button your shirt up. It ain't gonna hurt, button it up. Say yes, sir. Make your name yes, sir, no, sir. What's your name? Yes, sir. What's your name? No, sir. They need to be taught. So I would invest, brother, into job training centers that I would give young people a stipend to go through that training. Look here, brother, I can't give you a whole lot, but we give you $150 a week. You got to go through this training. And you got some of the skilled laborers teaching them. I believe that's the best investment because now you call that human investment. When you give human beings a training that make them better human, you can't lose on that investment.
Yeah.
And then when jobs open up, you got skilled youth who can go on your job and you won't be disappointed. They talking on the phone, they texting. You got skilled, they ain't smoking in the back. You got skilled youth now because we invested in it. That's what I would do.
Good deal. Good deal. Curtis, you are, with all the knowledge that you had in life experiences, you have all the knowledge, but now you're 21 years old and somebody come to you, they say, look here, I got $100,000. I want you to invest this for us. We're going to have a ROI, return on the investment, from whatever you decide to invest on. Curtis, what is your investment?
Defense contract.
Say it again.
Defense contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly. You know what I mean? You got wars, you got the rumors of wars, you got Ukraine going on right now. The government just spent them almost what, $3 billion and 80.
Curtis, did we catch you in the middle of eating, brother?
No,
Sound like both of your jaws full, brother.
I'm brushing my teeth.
Oh, okay. When we come back to you.
Right now, if I made any investment, $100,000 or more, because $100,000 investment puts you in a bracket to invest in some things that you couldn't invest in. Like, you got some investments that you got to go through the door with $30,000 to even make an investment at all.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do, I would split it 50-50, right? So $100,000, I'll put $50,000 in defense contract investments, defense contractors. I look at the list, the top 10 contractors, make a $50,000 investment. I might even cut it 4 ways and go defense. I definitely make an investment in Under Armour. So what a lot of people don't know is Under Armour got the contract to make the new space suits, the new NASA suits, when you go into outer space. And everybody who has any kind of space kind of program is going to be using their suits. So I might go 25 with Under Armour, 25 with a defense contract, 25 in necessities. You see what I'm saying? That's long-term investment. And then I might go 25 in just a personal investment, meaning like 529 investments for both my kids and whoever puts this money up kids. But what I do with that 100,000 is create several different streams of income. That way we got an aggressive investment, we have a moderate investment, and we have a conservative investment. Then you have what I like to call a miscellaneous investment or a slush fund investment. That's what I do.
Good deal. Good deal. Toussaint, what you gonna do with that $100,000, brother? How you gonna invest it?
You know, I was thinking about what I would do, and I don't know. I think I would try to find somebody that's doing something in the lines of non-combustibles, something that doesn't waste fuel, electricity, something. But I think it was Crafton who said something about our youth. I'd invest in them. Something they doing, something that they're interested in, something that would educate them to be better than us. Whatever it is, I'd have to find out. Probably have to do some research before I spend a dime investing a nickel. Try to find out how we can teach them to work, to be a good employee. Because everybody has a problem. We don't have no problem getting somebody to show up for work. We got a problem getting them to do it skillfully and wisely. I got people that show up for work every day. And I look at what they're doing and I say, what are you doing? If you keep doing it the way you're doing it, you're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
But you go right ahead. I mean, I tell you, I mean, really, what I do every day, I give them an assignment. I go back and sit in the office. I lock the door. I shouldn't say that, but I do. I unlock the door, go back and check and see what they're doing based on what I asked them to do. I shake my head, come back and sit in the office. Think about what can be done. Go back out there and give them some more instructions. Shake my head again and go back and sit in the office.
Mm. That's a lot of head
Yeah, that's
shaking.
what I do every day. I mean, really, because they come to work, some of them, but skillfully, they use their back more than they use their head. I said, that ain't gonna make no sense the way you're going about it. I'm telling you what you need to do. You just won't listen. Go right ahead. And when it gets hard for you, because you're gonna have to do it right, one way or the other. If it take you 3 months, I'll wait. I got more time and money. Because what I'm gonna do over and over again, Raheem, and you might not believe that. I'm gonna give you the instructions. I'm gonna watch what you're doing. I'm gonna give you good instructions. And I'm gonna go sit back in the office till you get it right. That's what I do every day.
Wow. Leonard, what you gonna do with your $100,000?
I like what Captain Dennis was talking about, because I remember going to one of those schools called OIC. And you would go there if they were going to open up a fast food restaurant and they needed folk to work. You'd go down to that OIC and take restaurant management or something, and you take that certificate down there to the man that's opening up the Popeyes, because he don't say it. I want these people come from that school, that OIC. I'll hire as many as you send down here. As long as you send them through restaurant management, restaurant services courses. I know you don't taught them how to behave, how to count money, and all that. And in 6 weeks, boom, he gonna let you walk in there and work. So I like what Captain Dennis was said. I like anything that deals with education.
Yeah,
that's what we was talking about. But my other side is I would put mine in agriculture and farming and producing organic foods for communities. That's actually what I would do with it as well. But land investment to me is probably the most important thing for producing sustainable food, good food.
That's good. Rico, you got $100,000, brother. All the knowledge that you got now, but you're 21. You catapulted back to 21 with all the knowledge and experiences that you have. What you going to invest that $100,000 in?
If you say it's my $100,000 or somebody giving me $100, like you said, I think earlier you said somebody giving you $100,000 or going in with you, something like that, right?
Yeah, they giving you $100,000 to go invest this, and whatever the ROI is, that's what we're going to have together. We're going to split it together, whatever the return on investment is. So they giving you $100,000. You just got to invest it properly. What are you going to put it on?
Well, first I'm gonna find out what they want back on the back end and how fast they want that turnaround. That's gonna determine what I invested in. Cause I can go back to my old ways and I can flip some things real quick. Or I could go and invest in some startups, some tech companies. You know, I'm thinking like Leonard at first. When you first asked the question, I was thinking about owning property, but then I started thinking about providing a service. That way you can get a profit, providing a service, a convenience. Something is missing. So I would go look for a new startup. And if I didn't see a new startup that I felt like I could actually visualize great success in it, I would start my own. Because we all have different ideas. We sit back and say, well, why didn't they come up with this? Or why didn't they come up with that? Well, I'm going to turn in today. And I'm gonna come up with those things that I see that there's a need for, and I'm gonna invest in coming up with how to build it. You know, I'm gonna come up with that product. Maybe it's a credit card machine for fathers or for child support. So many different things. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe you have a recipe in your family like KFC, and it's just waiting on you to be the next billion-dollar company. So I mean, you know, I would just invest in something that I know that there's a need for, something that people will have a desire for, and even if they don't have a desire, I might be able to create that desire, just giving them a little taste of what it is that I realize. You know, when you was talking about the politics and stuff like that, man, you know, I realized I think politicians are born in high school, maybe even sooner than that. Because they realize the rules, they realize the people that don't play by the rules and who makes the rules.
Mm-hmm.
They realize the power structure, how to get things done, and they make a decision a long time ago that I'm gonna pay attention to this because I see now that everybody else isn't. They caught up in the best in this and the best in that, and I can entertain that, but the biggest priority is who has control and who's making these laws and rules that we have to live by, because I'm more concerned about that. Instead of saying that they ought to change this, they ought to change that, I'm going to be the person that makes that change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make these differences.
Mm-hmm.
So as even with that $100,000, when I think of all these different things, man, we need a skateboard park. I'll build that skateboard park.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Captain, $100,000. Have your view changed a little bit, or are you still the same?
No, you know what Leonard I like what Leonard said. I didn't think about that, but that is very important. Is to teach real estate is that's why they call it real estate. It's really the only real thing that's out there. Anytime you invest in properties or real estate, you're gonna get a return. It all depends your investment. And I like what Rico said. There's no question you find a demand. I mean, you search, if they need cup holders, man, that's a killing, man. We got a new cup holder, or even if you got a thing that you could create to put your daggone cell phone in the car. Do you know how much money whoever came up with that idea to put that thing so you could put your cell phone? I mean, just something simple. And I like what Rico said. And look at the demand. Once I find a demand, I try to meet that need with investment. But real estate, I would add to that because I'm working with Flint, Michigan right now. I'm in and out of Flint, Michigan, because of the water crisis. Almost 40% of the people left Flint, Michigan, and that left Flint, Michigan with a tax base, eroding tax base. And now the properties that they left, man, is unbelievable that you can get properties, man, for little or nothing. But when I go to say, listen, my brother, I'm investing, man, I'm like playing Monopoly. I'm buying up everything.
Yep.
Now people are saying, brother, what about the water thing? That's why. But they've been to solve the water crisis. That's been solved. But people thinking it's still the water crisis. When they wake up and realize ain't no water crisis no more, I done bought up the whole city. But the point is, you could take young people, and if you could show young people how to invest in properties and say, look here, put your tools and fuse together. Matter of fact, I got some money of some investors. I'm gonna buy this. All right. And what you do, we're gonna get in there and we're gonna refurbish it. We're gonna fix it up and flip it. Once we flip it now, we're gonna have you have a percentage, so you won't come in but with sweat equity. But go in and work, clean it out, put this, put that in it. You got an investment. Now we flip it. Now the investors is happy because we bought a place for $3,000 that was value, was tore up from the floor. Now it's praised at $60,000. That's
yes, sir.
And then you got young people going in there and give them a percentage of what you call sweat. So I like what Leonard said. My attitude would change again. Job training, teaching them how to deal with the service, because the day's business is service. And everybody have been to see lately. I don't care where you go to fast food, you can see the service have declined.
Yes.
And then you look through the window, you see them young people in it laughing and joking, and they forgetting your ketchup, your mustard, and your food. They don't care because they're gonna be gone tomorrow. So job services is key in a business in a community that has a lot of job service jobs. So I like training them, teaching them how to be on. So if Brother Rico get a place of business and he open up a business, I could be able, like Brother said, send him some youth who have gone through training that I can guarantee they're not gonna smoke a job. They're not gonna. Here you go. So now Rico can have a good business if he start to do a lot of business, because they getting employees from me and brother from Doc that we qualifying them now, so you can get them. So I think it's a hand in glove. But I like to say I will add to real estate investment. That's what I would add to.
Got you. Curtis, any change in your thoughts, brother? Would your $100,000 still go the same way?
not really. I'd take. I mean, if I was to change anything, everybody made some very, 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 very. Oh man, I wish we had $100,000. But like, I break down hearing what everybody's saying is making sense because startups right now, startup investments are very, very aggressive investment. But if you make the proper investment in the proper startup, and that thing kick off, man, you know that thing could go from being worth $3 to being to being worth, 300,000 overnight. So I just, like I said, I would split that money into 4, and I'd look at aggressive, moderate, and conservative. Conservative so that I know that there's a ROI coming every quarter. Aggressive so that I know that a ROI will come, and it can come with a heavy dollar value to it. You know what I'm saying? And I use that miscellaneous, that moderate investment, passive income, and I use that miscellaneous to it would be an aggressive kind of investment, but I like that real estate / startup because a bunch of people have made a bunch of money on startups, man.
That's good.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to add, just as for anybody who's interested, because I know we have an issue with, like, say, for instance, what Captain Dennis was saying about, like, let's say fast food, for instance.
Yes.
And how people carry themselves and the employees. I guarantee you, get in touch with the owner of that store. Let that store owner know that you're going to start a boycott in front of his store unless he make all these young people pull them pants up, tuck them shirts in. All them hats need to be turned the same way. If not, we go into the McDonald's down the street. That's where we're going to shop. We're not going to shop at your store, Mr. Manager, because guess what? For some reason, 4 people been shot in this parking lot this last weekend. Y'all remember how you used to open up a chicken place or Church's Chicken, and more people get shot in the darn parking lot than they selling chicken?
Yeah.
Y'all neighborhoods are like that because you're not making them behave better.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, a business owner's life is based on them receipts every day. Let him know you're not coming in that store because of this joker right here in his mouth.
Yeah.
And why these women why these people throwing food out the window at you and ain't even saying thank you? And all, see, you have to go in there and say, we don't like this, and then we're not coming here, and this is why we're not coming here. Because the flow nasty, the bathroom always nasty, and all this. You have to be active in your community.
Yeah.
Because you would think that people would want the best, but that's not true. People want to break even and make profit. So that's how you have to address a business person and put it in that. Like, say, for instance, brother, if you got this shop, let me sit these right here in the window, because guess what? The politician is trying to get more money for small black businesses like yours that qualify for that money. That's how you build a base and a coalition and establish you some leverage in your community. You hear people talk about a black dollar this, a black dollar that, but what about when black people don't want to spend their money with you because of the conditions of your spot?
Yeah, exactly.
This, that, and the other. Investing in businesses that don't reinvest in your community. Folks talk about, we got us a black bank. I don't care about no black bank. Show me the capital expenditure program that you're going to put in place to build black schools. Show me that, because black businessmen are no more want to pay more in taxes than white ones. So your mind and your heart have to be for the community, not just you want to open up a business because you black. What is that business going to do for the community, for our patronage at their business establishment?
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, Captain, bring your camera down just a little bit. We had somebody come in and it kind of showing it just the top of your head now. Bring it down just a little bit more. Bring it down just a little bit more. Bring it down. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Badger, what? Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Got a phone call. We're going to go to the call in just 1 second. But Badger, I'm asking a question this morning. You are, and with all the knowledge and expertise that you have right now at this age, right now, somebody have some background noise. Let me see where that background noise coming from. That's Curtis line. You have some all the experience that you have right now at the age that you are right now, but they're gonna push you back to 21 years old with all your knowledge and all your expertise that you have, all your experiences. They say, look, they come to you, they say, look, I got $100,000. I want you to invest this, and whatever the return on the investment is, we're going to split it. Badger, what you going to invest in?
What would I invest in? That's a question.
Mm-hmm.
What would I invest in? Mental health
Mm-hmm.
for the communities.
Mm-hmm.
Because we sure don't got any, and most people in the communities are too selfish, stuck up, arrogant, even though they talk a good game. So I'd be the one that would probably end up losing money and wouldn't honestly care as long as people got helped.
Mm-hmm. Well, Badger, they ain't, now you losing money, they ain't gonna come back to you now, Badger. They ain't gonna invest no second $100,000. You done lost their first $100,000. And then you say, well, I help some people. They say, well, what my money?
I'm gonna sell them some weed.
They're gonna break his knee.
His kneecaps, everything.
Wait a minute, brother. Hold on. You what my money though? What my money? Man, we have 10 people. Whoa, brother. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, same scenario. You are at the age, all your age that you are right now. I'm not gonna say nobody's age, but the age that you are right now, you have all the experience and all the expertise. Lord. But you can take all your experience of your 63 years and take it back to when you was 21 years old. Somebody come to you, they say, I got $100,000. Cassandra, I want you to invest this $100,000. Whatever the return on the investment is, we're going to split it 50-50. What are you investing in, Cassandra?
Services, state-run services.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I've worked in that area long. The people, the providers are providers. That's the word I want to use. Let me use the correct term. They are clocking.
Mm-hmm.
They are clocking dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So I would find a state program, a service program,
Mm-hmm.
provider program, and that's where I would put my money, because
Wow.
it would be helping people, and that money keeps coming in from Fed grants and state funds, and I'm gonna tell you, the people I know that doing it, they making money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good money.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Good deal. Good deal. Let me keep this thing going. Who I get? Rico.
Yo,
have you had have some of your vision changed, man? You gonna invest the same way, or how we gonna do this thing? And we're gonna go to Willa. Willa, you up next?
I'm gonna invest the same way, but I gotta make sure that it's going, whatever I'm investing in has a positive impact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get so money crazy where I start selling something to the community that they go crazy for, but at the same time it's a detriment.
Mm-hmm.
It's having a negative impact.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is, I want to make sure I'm making money, but I want to make sure I have an influence that I'm actually having some type of way of giving back to the community and improving the community.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to actually probably get into the music industry, I would start from the bottom, recruiting talent and taking them in a direction where they don't have to do the normal things,
Mm-hmm.
and creating a different atmosphere. I mean, it's so many different demands. Like you said, there's so many different needs.
Yeah.
That we can make money off of. Don't get me wrong, because it is about making money. It takes money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process, I just want to make sure that whatever money we're making, I ain't killing people behind it.
Rico, let me ask you this question. And I'm gonna stop the time, pause your time for a second here. Well, let me ask you this question, and anybody else out there, Rico, that want to chime in on this particular question, do so. I'm not going to necessarily call you, but just jump in and let me know what you think about it. Now, you are 21 years old. You have the knowledge and experience, same scenario that you have right now, but you standing somewhere, man. You standing in a store, and somebody come in and they get one of your buddies, man, and they say give them the same situation, not you, but them the same situation, and give them the $100,000. and then they come to you to say, and your friend come to you and say, man, look, I'm going to go out there and get me as many keys as I can, man. I'm going to go turn this money. How do you change his mind from doing that, which could certainly hurt the community, to doing something positive? How do you influence him to make him not do that key idea and go out there and do something that's more productive?
Well, one thing for sure, if he got more money than I got at that point in time, he ain't finna hear nothing I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I can get him in touch with somebody that got more than that money, than the money he has,
mm-hmm.
that has done it the right way. They can show them
Mm-hmm.
it's a different way.
Yeah.
That little money right there, that $100,000, man, that ain't no money.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much I'm worth?
Mm-hmm.
I'm worth this and that.
Yeah.
How you get worth that much? Investing in stocks, CDs, investing in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the assets I got. I own all these businesses. You know that business you go to down on that main street in your city? I own that block. Yeah, man. You know how I got my start? I got started with $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
You got 100, bro. You see, because what it is a lot of times this is what I've heard. You know, I got relatives that played in the NFL and stuff like that, man. And I heard from their mouth, from the horse's mouth, if you ain't got no money, it ain't nothing you can tell me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I ain't listening to nobody that ain't got no money.
Mm-hmm.
And that made sense because they had some money. Now they need to make sure they talk to people that had money, but at the same time, it was a little arrogant the way they said it. You know, they really were setting themselves up to be used by those that got money, because sometimes you do get in those circles with people that got money and they just trying to find a way to get yours too, because they're greedy.
Yep.
They
exactly.
want it all.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's good.
So,
That's
know,
good.
it's all about the integrity and the honor of it. I would definitely try to make sure that, I turn him on to somebody that was doing it the right and legitimate way.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it could work out for his best interest.
Exactly. Let me go to Willa, and after that, I'm gonna come to Captain, because I saw him shaking his head over there in approval of what you were saying. But let me go to Willa. Willa, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Glow team. How you guys doing this morning?
Hey, doing good. Willa, same scenario. You're at the age that you are right now. You're going to be catapulted back to, and taking all the knowledge and wisdom that you have right now, taking it back to when you're 21 years old. Somebody come to you, Willa, they say, look, I got $100,000. I want you to invest this with all your knowledge and expertise that you have. Invest it. Whatever the return on the investment is, we're going to split it 2 ways. Willa, what you going to invest in?
Well, Raheem, when I was younger, I always wanted to invest in a skating rink on the west side of Chicago. In Chicago, we don't have something for our, should I say, I don't want to say children, but for entertainment, a better positive way of them having something to do. We've always had skating rinks in the suburbs or out south, but never on the west side of Chicago. And I've always wanted to invest in a skating rink on the west side of Chicago, because I thought that it would make a difference. If we put something like that in an area that was most needed. And that was something that I would invest in. It would be a skating rink.
Wow. Good deal. Captain, I saw you earlier nodding your head in approval to what Rico was saying about, and I think it was dealing with the part where you say, go to somebody that had more money. But I don't want to give you your opinion. What do you say? What's on your heart?
No, I like what Rico said. You give $100,000 to somebody to invest, and they say to you that they're going to invest in some keys, and you ask the question, how do you change their mind? You can't change somebody's mind who sees an ability to flip that money, but you can also point out to them that there have never been, to my opinion, to this day, if somebody know one to take it, there have never been anybody who has been in the drug game who's been successful. If you point to me, a successful drug dealer, which I have not met one. I've always met one who started off looking successful and they decline. So it's easy to point out to them, the risk when you talk about money, and I like what Rico said, See, everything is a risk. There's nothing 100% to say that you may not lose. Now, let me say this to Willa. Wendy Willa, you just talked to? Wendy Willa?
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
Now, look, Willa had a great idea, but I'm giving Willa $100,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to Willa, I like your idea. And you say they need a skating ring in Chicago on the South Side. Now, I'm getting ready to give you this $100,000, Willa, but what guarantee that them Negroes ain't gonna start shooting in the skating ring?
Yeah.
Fights breaking in the skating ring. Talking about
Mm-hmm.
black people. What can you guarantee me that your skating ring is going to be a safe skating ring? Because the skating rings I grew up, man, it was so many scraps, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an idea. It's a great idea, but if
It is.
how can I guarantee I lose on that investment? Great idea. What are the measures that you could tell me that you're going to take place that guarantee me ain't gonna be no gun shooting, ain't gonna be no fighting a lot, ain't gonna be no drinking, ain't nobody in the bathroom smoking weed? I need to know that. I just want to present that to Willa, if you don't mind, if she can answer that, because that's what we're talking about, Raheem. If that's okay.
Absolutely. Willa?
Oh, I definitely could answer that question, Raheem. Because not only did I want that idea, but I did come up with a plan. I even went to the SBA trying to see if I can go through that process, of opening up a skating rink. And my plan was, because for sure, because you're talking about the west side, not the south side, the west side of Chicago. And the way that I had it planned out that I was going to have those machines that the kids had to come through, build a relationship with that community, even with the gang, the gang leaders. See, because when you have a relationship with them and you can get them under control, then everything else around you would be kind of under control. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it was a guarantee, because nobody could guarantee that kind of thing in life. But if you put something in place that would make a difference other than what another business might have, you might have something better, a change. And that's exactly, I'm telling you, that's exactly what I was going to do. I don't know if y'all know me, but I'm a people person. And I would make it so that even the neighborhood will keep that business safe. And so, yes, I had already put that in place.
Good
so
deal.
I hope I answered your question.
That's
what we got the money to invest.
She said, I hope you got the money to invest.
Listen, that's what sells me. What sells me, Willa, is your compassion. Now here's what you said, because I know the west side of Chicago got the GDs. You said, listen, I'm going to establish a relationship with the GDs. And matter of fact, I may allow them to have a little investment in the skating, which means they're going to protect their investment. And that GDs could become the security, because they know all the players on the west side. I like that. See, if you're trying to convince me, that's what I wanted to hear. Oh, that's a smart move, Willa. Now, with you saying that, can we seriously get a skate ring on the west side? I ain't got no problem investing with you on that idea. I think that's a great idea. Thank you for indulging me.
Exactly. Anybody else have anything else they want to say about this particular topic before we move on?
One of the things that I can say from working with people as a consultant and things of that nature is one thing about African Americans. They go in with the worst perceptions. You always go into a business deal thinking about how successful it is going to be. And you, like Captain Dennis and Ms. Willis say, you have to plan for other contingencies. Like, say, for instance, when organizing, folks say, well, we don't have this in our community. And where will we meet? And all these types of things. I say, well, my first things is, one, I ask churches to borrow their spaces. And also, I bet you got a public library. Public library has a space for the public to reserve and use. You just have to go down there and get on the list. So even in a place like, I'm not familiar with the nice parts of Chicago. Only thing I know about Chicago, 71st South Kenwood area. That's all I know. And that makes me never want to go back to Chicago ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard, and I still have lots of family there. Bellwood, Maywood, all those places, you know. And so it is amazing that particular issue about us in business in our neighborhoods, because you just have to go into it with the contingency plan for ill will. Captain Dennis has a service that, if transformed that way, like you say, they're gonna protect their investment. And in that investment, make them an LLC. Teach them how to run a business. Now they ain't got no gang no more. They got a legitimate business in their neighborhood. And they don't want to see that go down. So when you get people to have, like I say, that invested interest, that's like a vote.
Yeah.
Because businesses and corporations have boards of directors. Guess what boards of directors do about how they carry business out? They vote.
Exactly.
So if we approach things from a more positive mindset, well, they ain't gonna do nothing but shoot it up, then come up with a contingency plan for that. Don't just run away, because I guarantee you, when them other color folk want one, they're gonna come in and put one in there, and they're gonna go talk to the police about round-the-hour protection. Police gonna be inside the building and everywhere else, and they're gonna make their money in your neighborhood, and you're gonna pay them.
Now, my 2 cents.
Say it again.
It's Ibrahim. May I say something?
Yes. Do you know what we're talking about? You just came back, brother. You know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
You've been listening?
I was listening to it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to discuss the topic about starting that skating rink. I heard a couple of things on that, and I think it's ill-advised. The GD just, I don't know if y'all know about it, but the GD, the Blood, the Crips, from coast to coast, and the Latinos, they all signed a covenant just a couple of months ago. I was there and witnessed it, right? And the day after, the violence erupted. When you give one gang of power, you disrupt the whole process, and everybody's going to try to achieve that power. So you actually be creating violence. And the one thing about starting skating rinks is that you're starting, you're talking about play, frivolity. You're talking about competition over girls and dressing and skating. Why would you have a community center divided into teaching jobs and trades and everything, and skating ring as a bonus to that? You know, the business would be successful for a minute, and then when the killing and murder starts, then it would lose ground. I think you should look at the both positive and the negative. Well, what about the community needs rather than frivolities of a couple of errant teenagers is going to try to spoil the thing? I mean, this is like fact everywhere. I've been in Chicago since the 50s, you know, going in and out, and with my families and everything. I've seen the Transformer gangs. I remember in the 70s, or 60s and 70s, when the deep, shoot, I forgot what they called them guys at the time. They actually became political. They still are political. They took their communities in hand, embraced the community and everything, and the different gangs. But then they started splitting out. The Blood Crips came in. They turned against each other. And here the war ensues again. And when they closed down Cabrini Green and the projects down to Dan Ryan and everything, you see what happened? Violence erupted again when they moved people into these better communities on the south side and the west side. I see what the west side looked like before you saw this madness, and I see it now. And it's horrible. Gentrification is food. So what I'm saying is that we have to really contemplate what are the needs of the community rather than what we think that's going to make things fun. You know, that's my thinking. Okay. I think black children do have a chance, but we're not teaching them. We're giving them baubles. We're not teaching them anything. We're giving them success and pounding the back for nothing. You know, so they don't
see, Ibrahim, what I'm gonna say is this right here, Ibrahim, and I understand and I respect where you're coming from. But my thing is I've always been the individual that always believed and thought that doing something is better than doing nothing. And so if we don't have some kind of a plan, then how are we planning to succeed? If we don't have some kind of a plan, something in place, hold on, brother, something in place, we have to have something in place. And if the skating rink is something that we could put in place and then bring these people together, we can't always concentrate on the negative. We have to acknowledge that it is there and there's a possibility of that. But at the same time, we have to concentrate on the positive of what we want our result to be. And if we concentrate more on what, hold on, brother. If we concentrate on more of what we want our result to be and focus on that, I think we'll be moving in a very positive direction, and then get other people, like they both said, bring other people involved that's also concentrating on the positive. Yes, there's a negative. Yes, this has happened before. Yes, this can be a problem, but we're not going to concentrate on that. We're going to put all the elements in place so we don't have to get there.
Why don't we go with the positive then? Why don't we give what the people need, what those children need? You know what I mean? Instead of giving them baubles. And some that, you know, I know they over skate ring.
What you say is baubles may not be baubles to somebody else, brother.
A neighborhood that turned to violence. That place turned to violence and bloodshed.
Wow.
And it's still like that until.
Okay, Ibrahim, hold on, Ibrahim, let me pull somebody else in, brother. Hold on for a second.
Right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What did I just say?
Mm-hmm.
What did I just say?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember when corner stores, there were black corner stores, right? Then everybody, oh, it's too dangerous. I ain't open up no store. And then and then folk come right in your neighborhood, open up all these stores and gas stations. They don't care how dangerous. You don't care how dangerous your neighborhood is. They're going to open that corner store, and they're going to make sure they got in that store what you're going to come down there to get. They don't even care nothing about the violence and the crime.
And we're not saying that it don't exist.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that we're not going to concentrate on it. I'm not saying that you're wrong in what you're saying, brother. We're not saying that it don't exist or that cannot be an issue. But what I'm saying is, and anybody can jump in and say what they want to say as well. But what I'm saying is, we're not going to concentrate. We're not going to let that cripple us.
Thank you.
We're not going to.
I think Kurt was wanting to say something too.
Okay, hold on. We're not going to let that stop us from what we're trying to do or what we're trying to accomplish. Yes, it does exist. Yes, it's happened in the past. But are we going to stop because it happened in the past and we're not going to move forward? That's all I'm saying, brother. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're wrong. That's your opinion. I'm not here to give you your opinion. You have your own. I'm not going to.
I'm over and over again to get the same result. It's called crazy.
Wow. And doing nothing is called complacency. And you're sitting in the same place. You'll never move to nowhere other than where you are right now. So I'm more on the page of moving forward instead of just staying where I am.
And this is like we work with Black Issues Friday. Oh, my fault. I'm sorry.
Two can't talk at the same time. Go ahead, Ibrahim. And we got to move on, brother. We can't stay with you all day. We got many people on here.
No, I said let's don't move better. Let's entertain it. Let's use our intelligence. You keep doing the same thing over and over again and keep getting the same result. That's called insanity.
Okay.
You know, you on this third path and then move forward, right? What the community needs. The community don't need skating rink. If you do have a skating rink, why don't you add something they need? Like education, like
now, brother. Now you're speaking for everybody. You're telling everybody what you need, what they need from your viewpoint. You're telling everybody what they need from what you think they might need. You see, and what you're doing right now, you're crippling everybody else by saying they don't need this, they don't need that. How could you tell somebody what they need, brother? Maybe skating is what gets them over the top. You can't do that, brother. I can't go in somebody's house and that's hungry. And they say, I want a burger. And no, brother. What you need is some nutritional drinks. What you need is that fella is hungry, man. He wants something to eat. You know what I mean? It's not for me to tell him what he's going to eat to curb his hunger. We got to feed him.
It's a solution to that, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solution to that.
Go ahead.
Because what he's saying is true.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not.
From your history, you know, and so what you have to do is try to find something to prevent. Precautionary measures to counter that behavior, that activity before it gets there. So like he was saying, this is where the vision comes in. We've seen skating rinks left and right for decades, and we've seen what happens with them. Sometimes they just lose popularity, or maybe the violence makes them lose the way people patronize. But maybe you can create a different activity, a different trend within that skating rink that will alter or like I said, counter that type of behavior that we've seen happen in the past. Because we know when you get groups of people together, human behavior is going to happen. And if you ain't got something in place to make sure that negative activity or behavior stays away, or keep something going there where you can occupy people's time so they can't go in that direction.
But Willa said she had a plan.
Sideways.
Willa said she had a plan.
Saying, but that's where you have to come together and find a way to come up with a new form of bowling, a new form of skating.
But see,
maybe you could,
but Rico, let me say this. Captain actually asked Willa that question, and she addressed what it was that she had in place. and whether it's foolproof or not, is something in place, and maybe you have to change it and curb it as you go along, as different situations present themselves. But she did have something in place. This is what she says she's going to do.
Let me say this, brother Raheem. You know, if Ibrahim told us, what would you do with the $100,000, Ibrahim? And he would say, I would invest in that, and then I would come on here and say, man, that's crazy. We don't.
Yeah.
How would you shoot down somebody else's idea of what they would do with the money? How that, brother? That's like taking the desire out of a sister who sees the good of a service that she believes.
Yes, exactly.
Because you don't see the vision, because you think that it would be vitamin, that's negative. Way somebody's desire, I like it. Don't knock it. Get behind it and help her put in place the things that you say you know about Chicago. Now, the GDs run the West Side. No matter what you think about all the gangs, she's talking about put it in the neighborhood where that particular gang is dominant. So if there's a pact with all the other gangs, it ain't got nothing to do with the West Side, because all the main gangs ain't coming to the West Side. It ain't gonna destroy the pack. It's saying you in your neighborhood, and they do run it. The GD, they run certain areas. You know that. It's just like if it was a nation, and you put it in the nation. We run this area, the Nation of Islam. You ain't got to worry about nobody acting the fool. If you tell the Nation of Islam, listen, brothers, not only would I need you brothers to help the community because they respect y'all, but I'm gonna let you get down and invest with it. Hey, come on. You got to look at it in a positive. That's why everybody's saying what they're saying. We ain't saying what you're saying is not correct.
Exactly.
But man, I'm stupid enough that she's gonna invest $100,000. That's what the key was. What would she do with $100,000? I came back on and said, okay, I like your idea, Willa, but what do you have in plan on the contingency to do? And she gave us a good idea. I loved it. The $100,000.
Are you addressing me? Did you address me? Can I speak?
Yeah,
go ahead, Ibrahim. Now you got to understand too. Now this is your last time I will come to you for a minute, man, because I got 10, 12 people that's holding. I can't just keep coming to you, brother. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, I understand that, but if I'm addressing
Ibrahim, just go ahead, brother. Say what's on your heart, brother. You go ahead, say it, man. All this is still time.
I keep getting you this positive thing, right? Oh, this is positive. This is positive. This is positive. And you bring it in a violent, murderous, drug-infested gang.
Wow.
How positive, you're going to bring that to the protection. And then if other people come from other project, the gangs intermingle, and then there was violence too, it's still going on. Hundreds of people are killed, up there, and stuff like that. So what are we talking about?
Okay, thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, brother. Hold on, let me thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
All right. First and foremost, Cap is dead on point. What we just witnessed is a classic version of black on black crime. Because to diminish her idea is a crime to me. Because the number one thing in products and services, needs and services, is that the service that you're providing is participant driven. It is not service driven. It's participant driven. The moment that you make people start thinking that they have to get this is the moment that you lose folks. Also, if you listen to what Willa said, I think your idea is a phenomenal idea. If you take the time to think outside the box, which is something that Black folk do not do. If you take the time to think outside the box and you listen to the things that Willa has been saying in the spirit for which exists in her consistently every day.
Yes.
We already know that Willa's going to take that thing and flip it to where, it's going to be skating, but it's going to be a whole bunch of other entities going on to keep the safety environment. Now, lastly, I'll say this. Willa, you just promoted something that has still to the day has named one man one of the best mayors of a city of violence in the history of America. His name is Cory Booker. When Cory Booker became the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, I was there. I watched it in real time. I was dealing with those gang members, everything from the Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, the Yetas, the La Familias, the Latin Kings, you name it. I was dealing with them personally, dealing with their kids personally. The first thing Cory Booker did when he won the mayorship is he went to the prison. He called all the shot callers to the table. All of them. Brick City was at that time, if I'm not mistaken, the murder capital of the world. He called all the shot callers to the table, Raheem, and he had a conversation with them. He said, look, I need at least 30 days of safe streets. We have some issues, and the only way I can get these issues done and get things taken care of is we cannot keep having all these murders on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
The shot callers came back and said to him, well, you coming to us, like a lot of these people is committing these murders and these crimes and these robberies and this, that, and the third, because there's certain things they don't have, Mayor Booker. They don't have job readiness programs. They don't have job placement programs. How you going, if I'm gonna ask my people to stop doing what they're doing, then I need somewhere for them to go. As a result, he got the chance to hear what was going on in the street. Not only hearing what was going on in the street, he was actually living in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So he was seeing it. So he was able to connect it all together and say, okay, look, here's what we're going to do. Because y'all done threw that out there, we're going to move to provide A, B, C, and D. How about that? Oh, not a problem. Cory Booker was one of the only mayors to have a 60-day moratorium on murders. There was no gang violence in the city of Newark for 60 days, consistently. The gang violence really came back when the other side of the aisle started pushing back on his program development and program applications.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Let me keep this thing going. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good. Toya, what are you hearing? And Willa put the idea out there about, let me go to the beginning. I asked the question. The question is this: you at the age that you are right now, you take all the knowledge and expertise that you have right now, and they push you back to 21 years old. So now you're 21 years old with all the experience, all the knowledge and everything that you have. Somebody come to you, they say, listen, I'm going to give you $100,000. I need you to invest this $100,000, and whatever the return on the investment is, we're going to split it two ways. Willa said her idea, what she would invest in is a skating rink, a skating rink in Chicago, because there really isn't one there. And that's how we got to where we are. So before we let you speak on that, how would you, Toya, how would you invest your $100,000? And then let's talk about the skating rink ideal.
You know what? The unfortunate part is I'm so selfish. $100,000 ain't enough, honey. I got some personal things that I need to get taken care of. But we're gonna say, hey, that $100,000 can only be invested for nonprofit purposes. So now I'm forced to invest money in a positive situation. And I like Willa's idea. I was thinking the other day on how teachers don't have enough money, but how if each parent gave $1 a day, that's 30 days per kid, that would help supplement a lot of the needs for kids, the music programs that they don't have and things of that nature. And that's what I think I would invest back into, not only to help promote or boost teachers' income, but to be able to bring back programs in school, the music programs and the dance programs. Like I had step in school. It's hard to find a step team now. Not all schools have band programs. Not all of them have sports. But I would definitely like to invest my money in probably $50,000 would go to, teachers to help supplement their income. And then the rest of it would probably go to, like I said, some of these organizations. But now, see, I'm working on winning this big game. I'm manifesting it. And I just said to myself the other day, I'm giving $40 million to my church, And I'm gonna give another 40 mil to just people and their taxes. You know, a lot of us caught up in these taxes. I would pay off people's taxes. I'm talking about big bread. I'm gonna pay off a couple of United States citizens' taxes. And I'm gonna take another 40 mil. And now I need to start investing in build houses because there's so many needs that we need that help us commit different crimes and things like that. So I think that I need to put some things in place first before I go there. Now, part two, what Curtis just said about going to talk to the gang. See, this is what I do. I'm on these streets all the time, honey. I know I meet gangbangers on a regular basis. They human just like everybody else. I meet racist people, crazy people, bums, you name it. I meet them all out here on these streets, riding around on these trains that everybody is scared of. And I talk to people. I love my people. That's why I ain't got no problem with nobody that I come across. Because one, I don't walk with no fear. But two, I love one people and I treat them and talk to them and deal with them like human beings. So the whole gang comment that he just made about, you know, it may not be things there, but right, we need to put something there. But if you have a conversation with some of these so-called gang leaders, you ain't got to wait to become mayor. When you're walking down the street every day, stop walking like you're scared. Stop acting like you're scared of everybody and everything. And if you have a conversation and treat some of these people like human beings and say, hey, man, this is a better way, let me show you. And if you can show them a better way, I'm quite sure they'll take it. Like we was talking about yesterday with the stripper. Here, the stripper is making $5,000. She ain't hurt nobody. She ain't doing nothing but doing her body a little bit of harm. Might be selling her body just a little bit, but she's making $8,000 a month. Here I am going to talk to her about God and how he changed to deliver me, but I'm making $1,500 a month. She's not going to go for that the same way I wasn't going for it when I was in the world. So I love Willa idea. I think a lot of us need to be a little bit more collective on helping our communities. And if we invest $1 a day into our communities and put them in right places, we can solve some of these problems. And yes, we have to talk to the drug dealers and the gangbangers. And if you know a child molester and a human sex trafficker, you better go and holler at them and call them too and let them know you're coming for them.
Exactly. Let's go to who else we got here? Goddess. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Talk to me first. Tell me how you gonna invest your $100,000, and then let's talk about the skating rink ideal. How are you going to invest that $100,000?
$100,000 really wouldn't be an investment. I'm gonna be real honest. When you're trying to, Willa is walking on love on that one, and she has an excellent idea because I believe that every community needs an outlet for their children. For young adults, that's more of a positive. And skating has always been a positive place for exercise. And I ain't even gonna say young adults because I'm trying to get my skates back on with my old butt for exercise. So a skating rink, and the fact that she took the time out to get with the community, those that are in the community, because they know. When you in a community, you know who's running what and what's going on. And if they make something a no-kill zone, a no-gun zone, and you best believe 9 times out of 10, they're going to follow it. And that's the key factor on that part. But I also agree with Ibrahim, I believe. What we do need stuff within the community that, like, for example, in my community, what I ran on was job opportunities, more job opportunities. Like, for example, if you look through history, when they stopped bringing programs for electric, learning how to be an electrician, learning how to be, when they had stopped automotive, when they stopped bringing those programs to the city and they cut all those programs out, that's what we need. So our people could learn how to be entrepreneurs, businessmen, and get decent paying jobs. So that's, I think when we're sitting up asking, I think there's enough because, Ms. Willa, I just want to let you know, the American Plan Act money, there's money still available in that. If you still want to do that idea, and you got a place to do it, talk to whoever your head, who's over that. Here we call it a commissioner. Some other places call it a city commissioner. So talk to whoever's over that area.
And
because if it's a city building, they can donate that building to your cause. And they also have American Rescue Plan Act money. Get your 501c3 together because they're giving away money, and you can get it on the state level.
That's good. That's good.
So make sure that you contact them because it's available funding right now. Absolutely. I'm already working on some right now. Just let you know that.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I agree with the idea that Willa had, and Goddess, thank you for that information because I have a 501c3 and there are some things that I'm working on trying to do some community. I need a space to do some community interaction. So thank you for that. But yeah, I definitely believe that this can be worked out. Willa's idea is definitely a great idea. I was just watching. I love seeing the skate rings. I actually look for them online because I love skating. And man, I was watching. It was Usher and a whole bunch of other artists that hang out at a skating rink here in Atlanta. And I mean, they're getting it. They have security. They have, I think, metal detectors. It's a lot of things that you can stop at the door. So if they're coming in, and you got your big sign there and your security, if you're coming through the doors, you're going through the metal detector. That's the first thing. No weapons, nothing is allowed inside the skating rink. None of that. So it's ways to deter, but I think the idea is great. And people, young and old, love skating.
Yes, absolutely.
Young and old, because I see real old people in there, and then I see the very young as well. So I think it's a great idea, Willa, and I think you should go for it if you can find the money, definitely, and find a building. I would definitely shoot for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Willa?
Hey, Raheem.
Yes.
You know, I was going for it. I don't know if you heard me say it. First I had attended Luke College because I had wanted to know the financials of doing the business itself. And I found out, just like Ibrahim said, you have to find out what demand is your neighborhood looking for when it comes to a business. You want, what's the demand? And the demand was the skating rink. So I had came up with a 5-year plan. You have to come up with a 5-year business plan and a 5-year financial plan. And it was this building over here because they said always find a big building that's already built, and all you have to do is gut it out. That way the money will be less. Because if you build it from the ground, you're not talking about a lot more money. So yeah, I was doing that. So it was a club called the Keyman's Club, located on Madison and Kilpatrick. It was a big club that was there, big building. So that building, and then it had another place on the other side, like a parking lot. I said, this would have been great. It would have been great. So I went to the alderman in that area. At the time, I think it was Carruthers, or I forgot, Emma Mid, one of the aldermen. And I went to her and I told her, I actually did sit down. She said, you got that kind of money? I said, no, I ain't got that kind of money. That's why I'm coming to you. I need your help. This is what we need. I threw the idea out there. She said, okay, I'll get back with you. Guess what? She never got back with me. So yeah, and I thought about, and I was telling her, I said, look, we get the skating rink, it will be different. We'll have places set up where kids will be able to come in, have parties. Because you know, people love to give their kids parties.
Exactly.
Game rooms. I mean, you just look at how much money we can make, and then how much organization of children having something to do every week. I said, come on. And then guess what? It fell right through the cracks.
Wow.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow. Leonard?
I think it's, a great idea. Like we're looking at right now, Mayor Dickens, for instance, mayor of the city of Atlanta. in his first 6 months. Absolutely amazing. At what the right person does with power, as opposed to what people who have other interests do with power. One of the things that he did, what I thought was cool, was he came in and the man started a midnight basketball league. Things like that as it relates to affordable housing assistance, listening to people on their jobs, finding out what they would desire as being people that just work in the city of Atlanta, and finding every way that you can to include everybody in growth and progress. And what you have to have is you have to have positive people.
Yes.
How you think you secure a $750 million investment into something that somebody else would have said, oh, it can't be done, or it can't? No, you couldn't do it, but the next person probably can. So every time I hear a politician, you want to hold our politicians responsible, especially African Americans, ask them about doing something and see what their response is. Is it if that response is they ain't gonna try, they ain't your type of people.
Yeah.
They're just not your type of people. How long can you ignore people and what they want and expect them to continue to support and want to be a part of a community? You have to teach people the stakeholder concept in their communities. Say, for instance, when taxes go up, find out why. Where that money going, all this extra money y'all raising? What is it going to be used for? Like, say, for instance, if we used to call it where I'm from, and matter of fact, Captain D, I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, which is 30 minutes north of Flint.
Man, love Saginaw.
And that's exactly the area where I'm going back to work on agriculture projects and things like that as well. For the very simple fact that I see where I grew up at, half of the houses knocked down. Matter of fact, they have plans there where if a house next to you been condemned, you can get the house and everything for about $100 if it's next door to you. So there are lots of opportunities out here. And I'll give you this one example. I was going to the city, listen to 2 radio stations. I want you to listen to an inner city radio station and then go listen to a white radio, predominantly white radio station. I listened to the black radio station in the city of Detroit, one of the areas of Detroit. Oh, it's so bad. Ain't nothing to do. Get out while you can. Blah, blah, blah. Turn the dial to the white folk, same area. Y'all need to come down here. There's several opportunities for investment.
Okay.
That's a positive outlook. You looking at, you see a lot of burned down buildings and rubbish, but you know what? Imagine them clean.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what you do if you clean it up? And so this how these people are securing so much in your neighborhoods because you looking at things as garbage. That ain't gonna never be nothing. They come right in, turn it around, flip it, and make it profit.
Exactly.
Because they have a vision on what it looks like once they get a hold to it.
Good deal.
You're right.
Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, man, I'm just things Willa and Leonard and other people are saying. It's one of the things I was trying to fight here and get the people to help with because, oh man. No.
Badger?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we got you.
I was looking into why some of the taxes went up here. And most of the people around here didn't know that one of the reasons is because they're about to spend $7.5 million to redo the baseball park.
Yes, sir.
And add in things that most of the people around here don't have no interest in, like a disc throwing golf course. What I think I said it right.
Yeah.
You know,
pickleball.
What they use the frisbees, yeah.
Yeah, it's the frisbee thing. And then we have a veteran who came up with an idea to do a skate park because it has been pretty proven that, when you do a skate park and stuff, it does help lower crime. And it gives the kids something to do. And from my understanding, he's still fighting about it with Upshur County and things like that, where I'm at. And man, it's going to be a fight, and there are going to be things that some of the people that are stuck in their ways ain't going to want to accept. You know, you're dealing with there's so much potential out there. You have to you have to find the right people. You've got to reach out to the right, if you're wanting to do anything, you know, get a loan or have someone help invest. You know, you have to come up with plans. You've got to put in a lot of work for it, or you got to put in work to make a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
So but when you do nothing and then complain,
wow.
I mean, are you part of the problem, or are you actually going to be one of the people that help solve it?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so and unfortunately, I've been working towards, you know, doing a nonprofit and things like that, and it's been rough trying to find counselors and therapists that are willing to volunteer and stuff, so I can have a full laid out game plan and stuff, you know, to get everything approved.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I'm wanting to provide is literally free counseling and therapy,
Mm-hmm.
especially to kids,
Yes.
as well as money management, history and culture classes. So essentially, I want to make a nonprofit for culture, finance it. I guess it would be economics or personal
Mm-hmm.
financing,
Mm-hmm.
and mental health.
Good deal. Good deal.
Those 3 things.
Absolutely. Good deal. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Toy with a T coming to you next.
Yeah, man. Look, I had to go in and out. I had to tune y'all out a little bit because I didn't want to get confused.
Oh, okay.
I had to tune y'all out a little bit because I didn't want to get confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because I almost made the same mistake. You asked, what would we do if somebody gave us $100,000 to invest? And that means we would have to be turning a profit.
Yes.
And I almost slipped up and started talking about a non-profit, but that didn't have nothing to do with this. It can't even be in the same conversation. So after I heard a few both people started going in that direction, I was like, let me go and stop listening before I start talking about non-profit things instead of for-profit businesses. You talk about investing. So I'm going to try to get back to the context of what everybody was really talking about, and that was the skating rink. And whether Ibrahim was being a complainer or whether he was just bringing up an issue that might be legitimate. Now, I love Willow's idea too, and I heard, you know, what she said to counter when Captain Dennis said what he said. But Ibrahim, what he was saying wasn't really a complaint, because we're going through that right now in my city with a second skating rink. We got one skating rink that hasn't closed since I've been the youth. But then we have another one that opens and closes. And for some reason, they have some of the worst trouble at this skating rink. But somebody decided to go and invest in it again and open it back up. And it was he caused some trouble trying to open up that skating rink because of the past history. Some of the things that Ibrahim brought up about the trouble that circulated around that recreational activity in that building. It always went sideways. So they went ahead and let him open it up. Now the guy that opened it up, he also has rehab centers. And he raped them people in them rehab centers, and he supplied them with Suboxone. And he make them pay to stay. I mean, he making more money hand over fist. So now they gave him the skating rink. I already had a few problems, but and from the city council, he got it straightened out. We working out the kinks. Then he wanted to try to find another way to bring bingo into the skating rink, into the same building. Man, this man, he a businessman. He like making money. But they still worried about the atmosphere, because there's been rumors about people coming through there talking about they're going to shoot it up already. And so I think about that. What Ibrahim said was true. But what Willa is doing, she knows her community. She's reached out to the people that she needs to talk to. But at the same time, I think Willa has a different intention. See, the thing is you have to cater to certain people that you want to attract to have a certain atmosphere. I wouldn't dare catch on to the trend for $1 and start having a little Dirt day, a little Vaughn day, a little Reese day. You know, all these people, all these rappers that they got. I wouldn't dare go to that skating rink and have a old block day. Now, you know, we do need family environments, you know, and we have to be aware of the fact that, you know, if you're not careful, you might go to Chuck E. Cheese and see two people fighting and the kids celebrating birthdays and it turn into a Royal Rumble. It can still happen. You have to put them precautions in place, and then you have to cater to certain environments. You have to, it really depends on the events. See, depending on the type of event that you have, you can expect a certain type of behavior. If you wanted to have wine tasting events in that skating rink, I'm pretty sure the wine tasters wouldn't be up and not throwing up no GD sign or ripping old block. So it can work. But what Ibrahim was saying was true. These are things that you would have to address to make sure you keep that environment away from your atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because you know the skating rink could be a positive atmosphere.
Absolutely.
So I think it all boils down to who you're catering to.
And see, that's one of the things too.
That you're in functions that you're throwing. And it really don't have to be too much more complicated than that. You can,
okay, but Rico, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. And we never said that what he was saying was wrong. We just said we're not going to concentrate and we're not going to focus. And we have to put certain things in place. When Willa addressed what Captain said, when he was satisfied with what she said. He was very, very satisfied to the point where he said he would like to invest in it. And so we're not saying that what he's saying is wrong. We're saying that we're not going to concentrate and we're not going to put all our concentration or efforts into the negative part. We have to think about the positive and how we can move it more along in a positive direction, so that when those issues do come about, and the possibility they will. So we're not saying that he's wrong. We're just saying that we're going to concentrate more on the positive side of things, and we're going to move forward in the positive instead of concentrating solely on the negative. Because if you concentrate solely on the negative, you're pretty much shooting yourself in the foot from before you even get started. And that was my point. That was my point.
I sort of get that, but you have to concentrate on that to make sure it doesn't go negative. You have to make sure that you are cognizant of that issue that could arise, so you can make sure that atmosphere remains positive.
Yeah.
Because if you're not careful, it can turn into that depending on the crowd. So you always have to be aware. You know what? We don't want to have these type of events. You don't want to have these type of events.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Go ahead and let old block come up in here. They'll be all right this week.
No.
And
that was my point.
We're not going to let old block and none of those guys come up in here.
Exactly. And that was a part of my point too, because like I say, she had a thing in place, and I said we have to concentrate on the thing that she already have in place. And as you move forward, you'll probably have to implement it. So when other issues come up, you already have something in place. Okay, we'll go back to this. This is what we did in this situation. This is how we're going to negate what they're trying to do right now, so that doesn't kill what we're trying to do with this whole skating rink. Toya, with a talk to me, sis. What's on your heart?
Yeah, you know, well, when you mention certain names, you know, that's what people are going to think about when you say attract the youth. You know, everybody doesn't have the same mindset, and got the same background, but a lot of us feel like we want to do things. And everybody is speaking some very valid points. You need to know your people, know your community. Just because you know your community don't mean you know the thug life. You understand what I'm saying? Or all of these things are factors when it comes to doing anything. You know, I don't think that. I mean, I can kind of see the stereotyping of the event. Okay, don't let Lil Durk come to Red Hook, New York, and I'm being 100, y'all. All these black people. I think ain't no shootout gonna happen, but that's not necessarily the case. Don't mean that shootout gonna happen. But now, if you invite Lil Durk to Beverly Hills, will it turn out the same way? You know what I'm saying? And I think when we look at violence, we look at it differently from black gangs than we do from white strangers who just come pull up on the 4th of July and start shooting. Because that's happened too.
Yes.
You know, we can't pinpoint evil. And we can't say that evil just works in black communities with black rappers and all of that. We cannot pinpoint evil. But what we can do is make sure that we are educated enough to be able to listen. Black woman, 45 now. I don't hear what I say when I walk to Atlanta at night by myself.
Okay.
Some of the men on this line won't do that. College Park, you name it. I'm walking. Ain't no place on this earth I won't walk by myself. But I understand how to look for, what to look for. You know how many people don't know what to look for? They don't know to look in people's eyes.
They don't know how to look like when somebody's finna pull a piece out. They don't know how to look at something and say, oh, they finna scrap. They don't know how to look and then engage and inject with people to bring their spirits up. We don't pay attention to things at all as humans. I be at work, and I know somebody can come shoot that place up solely off of how the managers treat people. So when I see different things go on in this world, I think about evil and I think about what could possibly happen. Because even if we want to do something good, when evil come up, it doesn't have nothing to do with what we got going on. It could be everybody came to chill, right? And it is Drake, but because this other gang over here got a beef, it could be from anywhere. It could be from across the county line. And come and shoot up this particular thing. Funerals have been shot up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we cannot pinpoint evil, but we need to be able to learn how to recognize the people around us and our surroundings. There are looks that they frame people. If you pay attention, if you pay attention in the world, people that's got certain looks and movement, you need to know to be ready on go, no matter where you are. There's nowhere that I go that I'm not always ready, that something can pop up, even when I'm driving. Anything can happen at any time because people are crazy.
Exactly.
And you need to be educated enough to be able to pinpoint and look at wherever you are, whether you're in a skating rink, whether you're in a church, whether you're at a concert. You know what I mean? So I don't think that crossing certain events is going to deflect the violence. But I do think that we need to collectively as people conversate with each other and be open-minded to everybody, even the drug dealer, even the gangbanger, because if we look at statistically on why they say people do the things they do,
30-second story.
Gangbangers create gangs because of different needs that aren't being met, being left out. You know what I'm saying? Different traumas that's happened to them. There's so much, and there's still things that we overlook. So whatever plans we decide to do, I think, some are going to support it and some are not. But I think the very important part is that we still need to make sure we know our people, because knowing people, somebody's going to do something. My people know me. And there are certain things that happen that they think they know how I'm going to react. And sometimes they say, well, I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want you to react this way. And then sometimes they feel like they can control me, so they don't say anything. But the fact of the matter is, if you know your people, you always have a chance to interject in any kind of bad crime that's going to happen. Ideas are great. We need to keep coming up with them. But even if they do get shot down, we still got to move forward and find another solution, period.
Absolutely. Captain, what's on your heart?
Well, I think we need to be very clear, and I love Willa's idea. I love it so much. As she was talking, I'm thinking about reaching out to my connect with Kanye, who's from Chicago. We know him, and get some of the celebrities who are tired of the senseless violence in Chicago to invest in a positive idea, knowing that Sister Willa has in place key people that will guarantee the safety. No, we can't say it's going to be 100.
Yeah.
But at least we're going to do everything we can to be a deterrent. What I didn't like is to say it won't work. Now, be clear now, that was the conversation. It won't work.
Yeah.
It wasn't said, well, I disagree with it, but if you don't, it won't work. So that was why we came on Brother Raheem, because he made that statement. I mean, Brother Ibrahim, we made that statement. That's what brought us all out, Brother Rico. It wasn't that he didn't have a good, but don't say to a woman who God evidently, from she saying what she said now, she did a real good study, a 5-year, and she telling us, listen, she's not money driven. She's passion and mission driven. She's a little different than those who want to open up something only to make money. This person that you talked to, brother was mentioned, he's about money. He want to put a bingo. You drawing problems. But here's a woman that I feel that when the doors open, before they put him on that skating ring, I can hear Brother Raheem. You ready, Willa? You ready? I'm ready, Raheem. I'm more ready than I ever been.
Yes.
Father God, help me, blah, 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 blah. Before you even get on that skate ring, I believe she's going to bring the Spirit of God, something that's different.
coming. So let's look at Willa. Daggone with all you think of everybody. Look who we talking about. This is not your average ordinary. God may inspired her with that idea. It got me fired up. That's why I asked the question. I'm thinking, daggone, that's a great. I've been on Madison. I've been on the West Side. I did the barbershop talk on the West Side. Them were some wonderful people on the West Side. When you hear the word West Side, man, they got it. And to put that, man, we would guarantee everything. I get the nation, I get the peacekeepers, I get some of the brothers. We're gonna make it happen, and then she can do what she said.
Yes.
It can be that if we keep throwing, well, we doing the same old thing. Yeah. You may do the same old thing, Inspector. We're not doing the same. We're breaking the mold of the same old thing. Where the people where there's no vision, the people perish.
Absolutely.
Old man dream dreams. The young people got vision. Well, girl, I'm serious. I love the idea. I just talked to Russell Simmons yesterday. Now, I'm just not dropping names, y'all. Really, I'm not just dropping names. But Russell Simmons is making a donation, him and Fat Joe, for me to go in Akron. I know these celebrities. The Nation Secure, doggone, all of Future, you know them. But if I can sit back and say, man, hey, Russell, man, hey, Fat Joe, hey, Kanye, look here, man. We got an opportunity, man, to start breaking down some of that crime in Chicago. These people need some. We could talking about a skate. Now, I won't get on the pair of skates no more. I got on the pair of skates with my old buddy about 5 years ago. And, man, I hit that damn floor and like to broke my elbow. I said, no more. But I used to love to skate. I got my old butt thinking I could strive again. Man, that daggone skate with one way, I went the other way. Man, please. I said, well, that's it. That's it for me. But I love skating.
You can put these skates back in the back. I ain't gonna need these.
Man, did I? Please. I don't even go to the gate. Especially when you get the rental skates.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't want the rental skate. We used to take the toe stoppers off and we could really wiggle that bad boy, but
exactly.
No more. But nevertheless, I think it's great. And I thank Willa for giving us that great idea. God gave it to you, sis. And you got my wheels to turn it. Because I love it. And if I can get down and invest, and I like what brother Rico said. Did we go from profit to non-profit? We're not talking non-profit. And let me say this, Will, and I want to share this with you. Do you know how much money police officers confiscate and drug money? It's called drug forfeiture money. Do you know what they do with that money, Sister Willa? They take money from drug dealers out of Chicago. Well, what do they do with that money? It's called drug forfeiture money. The money's supposed to be reinvested in the community. It's taken from in a positive note. That's called drug laundering, meaning taking bad money and making it clean money. But we never ask them police, what they take millions of dollars. You know what they do with the drug forfeiture? They invest in getting more cars, bulletproof vests, and cameras. We have the right. I do this because I train law enforcement. Every time they tell me, Captain Mom, we don't have the money. Dude, do y'all have drug forfeiture money? And the eyes of the police chief get big as Mantan Morning. Oh, you know about that? Because see, we ain't supposed to know that. See, it's a little slush fund. Then that's the next thing they come back. Well, Cap, we do have some money we can invest in training the community. So I want to give you some options. Go after and get some politicians. Look here. What are they doing with that drug forfeiture money? They take it out of our community. And if they take it out of our community, they got to reinvest it back into our community. And they get police cars and confiscating these drugs. We want it back. I just threw that idea out there, and I love it, and God bless you.
Raheem.
I'd like to jump in.
Also, I wanted to point out what Captain Dennis was talking about. And this is why it was such a bad campaign before. It never was really defund the police. That's part of the things that can be done to fund these projects, is to take a critical eye on that particular money that the police are using and say, could this be used for a better purpose? That's what you have to do. When people say, well, there's no money, there's always money. Always. I don't care what nobody ever told you. Don't ever believe it. There's always money. There's just interest that controls the money. The big thing about the lottery those funds should be used for education purposes. Yeah, that's all and great, but who policing that to make sure it is? Or do all stores report all their funds and all the business that they do? Because everywhere there's a lottery terminal, this is where that money comes in, through the lottery terminals, okay? So you need to make sure. Now, how much of that is really going into the general fund and what is it being used for? You would be surprised, just like Captain Dennis told you. All the drug forfeiture money. Think about that money. They love to show you, we a $200 million bus. Well, what you do with what you gonna do with it? You want me to believe you burning it up or this, that, and the other? No, they're reinvesting it in what they want to do with it. You have to go insist that they reinvest it in the community.
Exactly. Badger, you wanted to say something, brother?
Yeah, because like I understand what the topic is about investing, and I think Willow's idea is amazing. From where I was speaking from is looking at where I'm at and what's needed most. And to me, when you invest in children and you teach them how to balance money and you teach them culture and they have access to mental help, you are investing in the community. You're providing a better future for the community because you're helping the ones that need the help the most. So I was quite shocked at some of the responses when it came to the nonprofit idea I was talking about.
Okay. Cassandra?
I'm going to be quiet.
What had happened was Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Because Cassandra, she passed the mic to you. Toussaint, what's on your heart?
I'm passing too.
Huh?
You listening?
You passing too? Man, what I'm gonna do with y'all, man. Y'all do know this is radio, right? Y'all do know this is radio. Rico, talk to me, brother. I know you got something to say for me. Talk to me, Rico.
Man, I thought about something else, man. I would invest in the education curriculum. I would definitely put my money towards something like that because, I mean, like I said, we see a lot of things that we complain about and that needs to be fixed, things that could be adjusted. When Willow was bringing that up, like I said, I'm trying to make everybody realize I wouldn't side with Ibrahim, but I was just saying that some of the issues he brought up are things that we do have to address.
Absolutely.
And I believe she would address that because she's the only person I listen to pray. So, I definitely believe that she would have that in mind to make sure that she keeps a certain environment. But that was my point, is when you do have these issues, you have to make sure that you don't provide an atmosphere for those negative environments to come in and start growing. You have to nip it in the bud ahead of time and say, well, because I mean, all of us, we're up in age right now.
Yeah.
We've had experiences. We remember when we were young. We talk about society today, but we know what part we contributed to why society is the way it is today. So we also know what can happen when you get a lot of black people together in certain situations. If you ain't careful, somebody gonna want to be seen and show out.
Yep.
They're gonna want to make sure that everybody remember what they did the night before. But now you have a lot more people doing that, and they're making big scenes. It's getting real violent. So if you have a venue where you're trying to create a family atmosphere, you're trying to create an atmosphere where people can get together, have fun, be safe, and have some peace. Then you have to make sure that you don't entertain those things that bring that aggressive energy, because a lot of that comes from aggressive energy.
Yeah.
And we know we have a lot of things that we did for fun that had aggressive energy, even if it was in the music that we listen to. So you might not be able to tame the music. You might have to be careful of the music that you play. This, even with the non-cussing versions, if you ain't careful, they still talking about smoking somebody in that's in that skating rink that's related to that person that they're singing about. Because listen, I listen to the music that they're playing today. They bleep a lot of stuff out.
Oh, yes,
and
sir.
if you're not careful, you still can hear the negativity in it, even though they ain't saying the cuss words. When they talking about smoking off and this and that, that's still negative. So I would be careful about the atmosphere and the type of events. But if I actually had $100,000 to invest, I would try to invest in a school curriculum. I would develop a school curriculum and try to move it around to sort of fill the gaps in education that we complain about.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question, Rico. I'm gonna ask you a question. You probably would not, with certain individuals, you probably would not invest that $100,000 in a skating rink for them. But knowing Willa and knowing what she brings and who she is, the person that she is, would you invest any money in Willa's skating rink?
Yeah, I mean, you look, man. I believe she can make a church on wheels, man. Have everybody in there praising on roller skates. Create a whole new, whole new different momentum, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because the thing is that you have to be creative, and the world moves on trend. And if you look at how some of these people praise dance, the stuff that's going on in church now, you look at the dress attire, you look at some of the stuff they're doing in the name of praising. Why not bring some roller skate praising to the table?
There you go. I'm about to refresh. Let me go. While I do this, I'm about to refresh. We got another call as well, because I think I'm frozen over here. Y'all can still hear me, but I think I'm frozen on the screen. So I'm gonna refresh it so I can get back unfrozen, if you will. But while we do that, Leonard, talk to us, brother.
You know, the ideas that people have are great, and like there are so many different ideas on different areas, different forms of entertainment, education, you name it. A community there ain't just one idea in a community. There are several ideas that make a community. Where you specialize in Italian cuisine, you build Italian restaurants. You maybe have a Chinese restaurant, whatever type of restaurant or cuisine you want. Guess what? There are people there that probably want to eat your food if it's great food. So any business, it's not just the skating rink business. Any business takes planning, and you plan for all types of contingencies. I think the original conversation we started off with got a little off for the very simple fact that the same thing came up over and over. I know when you talk to various Black people about certain business in the community, one group of people see destruction, the other people have vision. The people that have vision are the people that must lead us. It's the people with vision. People saying, look, see that vacant lot? If you elect me, this is what's going to be in that vacant lot. Those are the people that you have to focus and concentrate on. Those people that are building and changing things, not people set in their ways with one belief system, and they'll sit there and they'll tell you everything in the world won't work. Well, ain't no corner store gonna work. They ain't gonna do nothing but, and then next thing you know, somebody from outside of your community got a corner store on your corner. Y'all talk about what do you call it? Liquor stores. I think we had a conversation about liquor stores. How many of you been down to the meeting to stop the people from getting the permit to open the store?
Exactly.
How many of you been down there? Because they have to post it in the newspaper.
Yep. And they have to run a certain amount of time.
Exactly. And they tell you about the hearing to come down here to oppose that liquor store being built if you want to.
You know what they're going to say, Leonard? They posted in the newspaper. I didn't even know.
Wow. Let me go back to the phone line. We got Rosalind. Rosalind, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, everybody.
We miss you, sis. Where you been?
Finals.
Okay.
Finals.
Okay.
Finals.
You all right?
School is kicking my rump.
But you got it though.
I do. I'm trying to hang on, hang in there. I'm trying to endure to the end.
And
is that Rosalind?
And you will. Exactly. Rosalind, I want to ask you a question. You are at the age that you are right now. You're going to be catapulted with the knowledge, skills, and understanding everything that you have, expertise that you have. You're going to be catapulted back to the age of 21 years old. Somebody going to come to you. They're going to say, look at here. I'm going to give you $100,000. I want you to invest this $100,000. Now you're 21, but you got all the expertise that you have. to where you are right now. You have to invest that $100,000 in a business. Rosalind, what are you investing in?
I mean, in all honesty, at 21, the light bulb didn't come on.
No. Hear me out. Hear me out now. At whatever age you are right now, you're going to take all the expertise, all the experience, and everything that you've had, all your knowledge and everything that you are right now, and you're going to pull that back to when you're 21. So you're going to have the experience of the age that you are right now, but you're going to put it in a 21-year-old body. What are you going to invest in?
Okay. Probably something that I'm passionate about. It'll probably be some transitional re-entry, something to that nature. Probably dealing with kids as well. We had one of my classmates from our town just got in some more trouble with drugs, and his son, he has left his son, he's 16. So, you know, he's like basically on his own. So me and two other women or organizations, we're going to pull together and try to make sure that he has what he has, so he won't end up like his father. So I would probably take that money. I don't know, when I say invest, every time I try to come up with an investment plan, I always do things like for nonprofit or something. Like I because I'm a giver, and I feel like once you do things that God places on your heart, then the money will come. That's how I look at things. Because if you do what you love to do, the money will flow. That's how I look at things. And I love to do things for the community. So investing, it'll probably be like some type of transitional housing or housing, because I feel like there are so many people that need housing, and it will have to fall back on the kids as well, like trying to get a hold of the kids before they grow up and go down the wrong road, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Just doing things in that nature.
Rico, you just got that light went off, didn't it?
Man, we all the way off, man. We all the way off, man.
Exactly.
Listen, what he is asking us is knowing what we know now.
Yes.
If somebody came to us and gave us $100,000, what would we go and invest in at 21? Knowing what we know now.
Yes.
And so me knowing what I know now, I would invest in Google or Amazon. Case closed. I get it now, man. Man, sometimes we try too hard, man. And the question is very simple. I get it now. Maybe Raheem just threw the question out there a little group. I don't know.
No. I asked the same way. I asked the same way. I
get it now, man. Yeah, if I could go back and knowing what I know now at 21, I'd invest in Amazon or some internet business, man. But I did say tech. Tech startup.
Exactly.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
We should also clear one thing up. Return on investment ain't always cash.
Yeah.
Return on investments can be social marginal benefit. There are some people that would invest their money to reduce crime. There are certain people that would invest their money to draw other types of businesses to a neighborhood. And what they get out of it is contributing to that effort. There are nonprofits that are extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
Nonprofit does not mean no money. It's how you use your profit. You can continually reinvest the money that you make or donation things into projects within nonprofits. Nonprofits mean to make sure that you use all those funds for the purpose that the nonprofit was created. I don't care if you make $100 million in a nonprofit. Expense the $100 million for what you said you were going to do. The way people get in trouble is create a nonprofit with a bad pretense. See, you didn't even go into it honest. You went into it to launder money. You went into it to do something negative. But you can make millions of dollars in nonprofits as long as you use those funds for what you told the federal government you were going to use them for.
Exactly. Captain?
Well, you know, I was very excited, but you know, I want to share this. Everybody know Magic Johnson. He's a very brilliant entrepreneur. I remember in LA, you know, Magic Johnson opened up the first chain of franchise Starbucks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Came into Harlem, opened up a Starbucks on 125th Street, which, wow. Now, I'm like what Brother Rico said, if I was smart, I would invest in Starbucks as much as I drink Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, he wound up doing something with Magic Johnson Theaters. Now, there's many theaters. But you know what he did to bring us? That man brought chicken wings in the Magic Johnson Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the real chicken wings. And he made it so that you can eat chicken wings. I mean, it's almost a nice meal. Why you watch the movie? While we was going to other theaters getting popcorn and peanuts and some nachos.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this scene right here, baby.
Lord.
He catered to us.
Yeah, yeah.
And now they had a movie theater. I mean, movie dining theater, so where you can eat.
Yep.
And at the same time, now listen, I could see Willa standing at the front door as they coming in and how you doing, Miss Willa? All right, take your hat off. Take the hat off. Tupac, take the hat off. How you doing, Miss Willa? All right, girls. See, she's got that personality that could change the climate. And that's what it's all about, changing the climate, man. And if you are really into what you want to do, you bring that person. I would invest in even if Abraham had a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I get down with that great idea because I'm listening to great ideas. We went from somebody else giving $100,000 to where, man, can I find $100,000 to give to Sister Willa? So they have created in my mind by allowing us to know some of the brilliant people. Education is most certainly on it. And let me tell you something. I meant to mention this with Dr. Leonard. I mean, agriculture, because you got to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know? And I'm in Saginaw too. Then I'm in Saginaw too. Do you know how many empty lots the houses used to be? You can have urban gardens.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that the city would give you those empty lots?
Yep.
And turn them into urban gardens? And do y'all know that in all these convenience stores in the hood do not have vegetables? Y'all know that?
Nope.
You have to go to the supermarket to get vegetables. But we got all these empty lots that if we was, and the city said, well, take them, man. I was better than weeds just growing. And you get the community and the elderly and you give them seeds and you say, Miss Willa, this is your role right here. We're going to give you what you want. Give me the cabbage seeds. I want cabbage. All right, what you want? I take the doggone tomatoes. Miss Sonsa, what you? And then we build a fence, cultivate it, and watch these women come every day, watering their plants, watching. And then what they got to do, they got to give 10% of the yield to the community.
Yeah.
So if she got cabbage, you got to get 10%. So now we got a farmer's market. This came off of land that was just sitting there. These are the great ideas that we don't have to talk. We can do that. These are not no fantasies. This is real, serving the community. So I like what Leonard, I wanted to change. I would invest in urban. I would invest in agriculture. People got to eat.
Good deal. Good deal.
Nothing else. They got to eat.
Absolutely.
So I think the ideas that everybody, I mean, Rico, I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a bad idea. For real. It's what you're committed to with your idea. And all ideas have to be sold. Everybody can't see your vision. When I go to talk about the Peacekeepers, I got to sell it. Then when they hear me speak with the passion, oh, okay, I like that, Mr. Muhammad. Oh, but they don't know about that. When they hear Willa speak with the passion,
exactly,
they know. Oh, that's one point.
Absolutely. Now we got 9 more minutes. So every other Friday, sometimes on Friday we do the what would you do if, And I want to take this last couple of minutes and do the what would you do if, because I'm very interested to see what y'all gonna ask each other. And I'm gonna start this thing off with Cassandra. Cassandra, you there? Cassandra? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Cassandra, are you there? Okay. Let me go to Leonard then, because it's the same question I got. Leonard will be able to it'll rub Leonard the same way. Leonard, you there?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you, or what would you do if?
Sure.
Okay. What would you do if somebody came to you, and we're talking about the same $100,000? Somebody came to you and offered you $100,000 to invest in Willa's skating rink. But only thing you have to do, one thing you have to do, is vote for Donald Trump.
Oh, that's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker for me.
Mm-hmm. Now, Willa will have the money that she need to bring forth the dream that she have, and you will be directly tied into her making this dream become reality. All you got to do is push that button for Donald Trump.
I don't even do business like that. Personally, I don't do business like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do no business that would ever compromise anything like that about me. And you knowing that I'm anti-Trump,
yes,
I wouldn't
sir.
compromise that just for that. I will come up with another way,
mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
I wouldn't do it that way.
Okay. Now you have, let me tell you, you have Rico, you have Captain, you have Badger, you have, let me see who on the phone lines here. You have Cassandra, you have Willa, you have Rosalind, and you have Goddess.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk Rico.
Rico, Leonard want to ask you, what would you do if? Can he ask you?
Yeah, go ahead, Leonard.
What would you do if someone gave you $100,000 to leave Alabama?
Oh man, that would be easy. Hey, look, man, I'll be going in like 30 minutes.
Well, I know some people love where they're at. You know, I didn't know if that was the case. If you loved Alabama, I didn't know.
Oh man, I get up. We ain't even got no lottery, man. I have to come over there to the Georgia line, man. Tallapoosa, exit 9 to get me some lottery tickets, man. You know what I'm saying? I have to make me a good little drive every week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get up out of here with the quickness. Out of here.
Gone.
I probably need to take my stuff with me. Y'all can have it.
Lord.
Oh man.
I want to take nothing with me. Okay.
Leave everything here.
Who you going with, Rico?
Let me go with Rosalind.
Rosalind, are you there? Okay. Rico want to ask you, what would you do if? Can he ask you?
Yes.
Okay, Rico.
Miss Rosalind, how you been doing today?
Wonderful.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you, what would you do if Charles came on here in the next 3 or 4 minutes and told you that he was ready to take you up on that offer, and he don't think you could change him like you said you could?
This dude.
Damn, that was about 4 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yep, exactly.
Hey, he been going AWOL since then too, man. He's scared, man. He said, I don't want no.
Wow. Wow.
He been going since then.
I would consider it, because I listen to him, and I kind of want to get in his head and see what all type of stuff is going on up in there. So I would consider it. I would sit down and converse with him and see. Yeah,
I wouldn't. I've been there. Don't do it.
Rosalind, who you want to go to, Rosalind? You have Cap.
Let's go to Tucson.
Let me see, Tucson. Let me shoot. Tucson. He actually hung up. Tucson. Hopefully he'll call. Tucson, call back in, brother.
I'll go to Badger.
Okay, Badger.
I'll go to Badger then.
Okay, Badger.
Okay, Badger.
Hold on.
So you're at the gas.
Right. Hold on. Badger, Rosalind want to ask you, what would you do if? Can she ask you?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, so you're at the gas station and a guy walks up to you and asks you for $20 worth of gas because he doesn't have any money, and you consider it and give it to him, but as soon as you give it to him, you see him drive to the liquor store How would you react to that?
Say that one more time.
You give somebody.
You're at the gas station pumping gas, and a guy walks up and asks you, could you give him $20 because he doesn't have any money to get any gas? And you give him the money, but immediately after he drives to a liquor store down the road and you can see him going in the liquor store, how would you respond to that?
So he's gonna use your money. He gonna use your $20 to buy some liquor.
Use my $20 to buy some liquor.
Yes.
Ooh wee, especially since I'm addicted to alcohol. It's, I mean, I'd be 50-50. There'd be a part of me that wants to pull over and ask them, because most of the time in those situations, if they're really needing gas and I can feel that they need gas, I'll pump it myself. So the likelihood of me being in that scenario is really slim. But if it does happen, I'd probably stop and ask or pray for him. Give thanks that hopefully someone down the road can get through to him.
Wow. Okay, Badger, who you want to go to?
Who's available?
You have let me see. You have Captain, Cassandra, Goddess, and Willa.
Cassandra,
you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. See, she ran for my question. See, she just looking at the boy. I tell you the doggone truth. She ran. She know I'm gonna ask her something good. Badger want to ask you, what would you do if? Can he ask you?
Yes.
Badger.
To have an experience of understanding, do you think you could handle switching bodies? And deal with everything that I deal with, and I would have to deal with everything that you deal with. What do you think would be the greatest benefit of doing something like that?
Well, I consider you amazing and your journey, and we've both been through a lot of trauma. So I would have no problem with it, because your compassion and how you feel, because sometimes when you be like, and can't we just all get along? I'd be like, oh, damn, he don't get it, excuse my language. But I love that that's your way. You understand? So I admire you for that, even though I'm like, oh, he want everybody to kumbaya, but I love it. So I would be willing to switch with you. And I think the greatest benefit would be that I would learn some of your great ways when it comes to people. Even though I love people, I'm still not as tolerant as you are.
Wow. Cassandra, who you going with?
Who is it?
Let me see who we got left. We have Captain and Willa. No, yeah, Captain and Willa. Oh, and Goddess and Goddess. Yes.
And Goddess. I think I'll go with Goddess.
Okay. Goddess. Cassandra want to ask you, what would you do if? Can she ask you?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if that man was for me or her. I'm kind of confused here, but go ahead, Cassandra.
So Goddess, knowing your passion about us knowing our history and realizing, especially when it comes to the spiritual aspect, if you could talk to somebody in history about people of color or Black people, let's say Black people, who would that be? What if you could talk to somebody, who would that be?
Wow.
Wow, that's a good one. That is a good one, sis. Because it would probably,
do it have to be just one person, or can I conjure up like 2 or 3?
One person. You could talk to one person in history. Who would that be?
Hmm.
Come on, Goddess.
I'm trying to think. I'm probably gonna go with like one of the Black Panthers. I'm probably gonna go with one of the Black Panthers. Probably one of the founders of the Black Panthers. One of the main. I don't know, Bobby Seale. I don't know which one. Probably one of the Black Panthers.
Okay. Cool beans. Well, Goddess, we have we got left. We have Captain, and we have, let me see, who else did I say last time? And Willa. Goddess, we're running out of time.
I'm probably gonna go with Willa.
Well, y'all scared to ask Captain a question, ain't you? Y'all scared to ask Captain a question or something? Willa?
I ain't scared to ask Captain that question. I just
Well,
take one and he just don't really just
hold on.
like
Willa, Goddess want to ask you, what would you do if? Or what would you do if? Can she ask you?
yes, she can. Right.
Uh-oh. Put your seatbelt on. Because she has them
right.
she has them doozies. She has some doozies.
What would you do if you had to make a decision and surviving in right now you're in the community right now, so if you have to make a decision for running for office within your community, or city, or owning your own business, which one would you do?
Well, I probably run for office, which gives me that opportunity to get my own business, because it allows me to network with other officials that might put me in the place to have my own business. So I'll probably do that.
Good deal.
Okay, so I'd like to see you do that next.
Good deal. Willa, you have to ask Captain a question. What is your question to Captain?
You know what, Raheem, and I'm going to tell you the truth. That was the person that I was going to ask my question to.
Look at
Honest
God.
to God.
Look at God.
And I knew that when you asked her that question, she was going to ask me that question. I already knew it. I had my question ready for Captain.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Captain?
Ask him.
Captain, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Willa has a question she want to ask. What would you do if? Can she ask you?
Yes, sir.
Willa?
Cap, being the kind of man that you are, it's a young boy about 7 years old who lives in a household on your block that you know of, that a lady, she has about 5 kids and she's not taking care of them. And this young boy knows how you take care of your son and how you are a father to him. He comes to you and he asks you, I want to live with you because I know how you are as a father. Will you be my dad? What would you do?
That's a very good question. I would try to encourage him. I would be his uncle, and I would try to encourage him the great work that his mother, but I would participate in every way, shape, form, or fashion. That if I take my son to the ball game, I'll go get him. If I take my son to go to get an ice cream, I'll go get him. If I take my son to the movie, I go get him. I would include him and as part of my family, even though he lived down the street, because I know his mother will appreciate my commitment to her son, and I would make him not want to be in my house. I would make him know he's already in my house, but at the same time, he's just up the street, and I would take the stress of what he don't have in his house. I would relieve him of that stress by making him participate in everything I do in helping that son on his way. That's what I would do.
Good deal. Great answer, brother. Great answer. The floor is open, Captain. Anybody you want? Who you going to?
Well, I would like to present the question to Toya.
Okay. Let me see. Make sure she's still here. Toya would she hung up.
Well, I would like to present the question to Cassandra. She there?
Yeah, Cassandra's still here. Cassandra?
Yes.
Oh, you scared?
Yes, because I knew he was going to call me. I was like, what? I said, no, please don't. Yes, I'm scared. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Captain has a question to ask you. Can he ask you the question?
Yes.
Okay.
I said I'm scared, but I'm scared, but I'm, yeah.
Man, y'all,
I'm right
y'all,
here.
y'all done made me the boogeyman. I'm always last.
Okay.
Everybody's picking who they want on the team to play ball. I'm the last dude, and everybody look at me. Well, I guess you got him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never the first choice. I'm always the last. You know, I don't know because I can shoot well if I can't shoot. I'm scared of what. I'm like, baby, man, what about me, y'all? What about me? Never that. Let me ask you this. You in a public place. Say you went to the Waffle House. You decided in late evening on a Friday night or Saturday night to go get your little late breakfast. And when you go in there, you see these young ladies that you see, they came from the club, right? They came from the club. You know, they a little tipsy, but they a little loud. They get so loud, they get rude to the people, so they call the police. Well, they got security, they already did the police. The police comes, you sitting there now, the police comes, and the lady is kind of talking a little loud, and then she gets up, and she gets up, and the police take that to be an intimidation, and he tell her either step back or sit back down. Then her friends get up and say, you don't tell her what to do. And the next thing you know, he got the sister who was a little loud in a physical hold, and her breasts come out, all right? Because she's wearing a little skimpy outfit. And he's wrestling her down to the ground, and the girl's like, get your hands off, get your hands. What would you do, sister, if you seen a police officer on a female and her breast comes out? That's what would if.
Yeah, boy, you put me right where I love to be. But I mean, he's not responsible for her breast coming out, other than the fact that she's being combatant. I presume that's what's happening, and her breast come out. I would ask him, could he just, let her cover herself? But this is what would happen. I would start filming from the moment, because I've done it multiple times. I film police all the time. I would start filming immediately so that we'll have a clear view of everything that happened. If he had a body cam on, I don't care. I still film them all the time. So I would ask him, would he just, allow her to cover her breast? Because that's embarrassing and that's humiliating. Even though they're being unruly, I still want him to follow, protocol. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whether that makes sense, but yeah, I would definitely be filming from the moment the police became engaged with them. I would be filming to make sure that I have a record, as well as his camera if he has a camera on. But but I would try to make sure that she's covered. Mm-hmm. And I would ask him, just as a citizen, I would ask him, would he just allow her to cover her breast, even if he's arresting her? Mm-hmm. If he would allow her to cover her breast.
Mm-hmm. Good show. Thank you so much. I'm sure that would be something everybody would love to comment on, but good beans, good shit, good beans.
Good deal. We're about to get out of here for today, man. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Speaker, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see or hear the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. You got it right that time, brother. No stumbling.
Yeah, I got it this time, man.
Yes, sir. Anybody have anything before we get out of here? Yes.
Can I make a request from the group?
Yes.
Okay. So I know some of you have actually seen that one of my set babies, which is just an actress that I've worked with on set, she passed away suddenly in her sleep, 34 years old, a couple of days ago. And her mom reached out to me. Her and I were very close. So her mom reached out to me, and she needs food. And guys, normally I handle everything myself. I don't have it right now. I have like $17, and I'm going to use that to get some stuff. But I was wondering if anyone could donate toward me going and picking up some food for her. And she has they have an adult brother that's there, but he's mentally challenged. So I want to bless them with some food today. So I'm reaching out to this group that if anybody could donate some, so I can go and pick them up some food, I'd appreciate it, because this was really sudden.
Okay.
And
Cassandra,
she died from a reaction to Mucinex, guys.
Wow.
She had an allergic reaction and died in her sleep from Mucinex. Beautiful young woman. You can see the story on my Facebook page.
Now, your cash app. What's your cash app? Give your cash app.
Okay, money sign WOWWGOD. Money sign WOWWGOD. Wow God. Money sign Wow God.
I'm gonna put it on the thing here.
And thank you to anybody can.
Two W's you said, right? WO.
Two W's at the end. WOWWGOD.
Okay. I just put it on the screen so everybody can have it right there. So if y'all watching, y'all definitely see it on the screen. It's $ Wow God. WOWWGOD. Look for something from me, Cassandra.
Okay, thank you so much.
Look for something. Anybody else that can do something if you on part of the broadcast or you're part of the listening audience, if you can help, we definitely would appreciate that. Do what you can do to help. We got to stand in the gap for each other. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this. So like I said again, Cassandra, I'm gonna send you something. If anybody else have it in their heart, do so as well. Willa, where you at? Where you at? Where you at, Willa? Huh?
I am so ready this morning.
You sure you're ready?
Raheem.
Yes, come on
ready.
Now. Well, you know what, Willa? You know what, Willa? Let's go.
Let's go. Father God in heaven, Lord. Father, we come to you with humble hearts and bow down heads, Lord. Father, I don't know that young lady. I don't know her, but Father, you know that was your child. And whatever is going on with that situation, Lord, I'm asking you to strengthen that family, Lord. Strengthen them in the name of Jesus, Lord. Father, I believe that you will do it. I'm asking you, oh Lord, to continually give us wisdom, guidance, and understanding. Line us up with your will and show us your way. Father, we love and honor you this morning. There's a lot of times we don't understand, Lord, what's going on, Lord. But Father, we know by and by that you're going to give us that understanding. Father, touch each and every last one that's on this line. Touch their hearts. Give them direction. Show them your ways. Father, I'm asking you to keep the Holy Spirit surrounded around them in the name of Jesus. Continue the success of this show with Raheem and his family. Thank you, Lord. We honor you, glorify you in Christ Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord. Cassandra? Cassandra?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, sister. What's on your heart? I knew something just led me to you. What's on your heart?
I can't right now.
Okay.
It's just people are just suffering so much right now. And thank you, Willa, for that prayer. We gotta do what we can do. You know, whatever we can do to help people, we just gotta do it. And it hurts me when I can't do it. I'd rather do it myself, but you know, sometimes we just need to help each other. So thank you, anybody that you know can help. Thank you so much.
Check.
Andrew, what city are you in? What
Atlanta.
Where are you at?
Atlanta.
Everybody on there, check that Cash App. Check that Cash App. I'm sure everybody just sent you something. I sent you something. Check your Cash App.
Yeah, I just gonna say check it and see if it came through.
That's
I
right.
just sent you something too. I just sent you something too, Cassandra. If you got it, let me know. I just sent you something as well. Check your Cash App real quick.
Right.
Check your Cash App, Cassandra. We're gonna hold on till you let us know it came through.
Sure went through.
Check it while we're on the phone, because I'm sending some too.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Now, I'm not trying to put nobody on the spot, nothing like that. But I just asked like this: did you get one for me?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll Rico say he sent something. Cap say he sent something as well.
Hey, it ain't gonna be under the name she used to seeing. Tell her it ain't. I don't know if she know my real name, but I think it's under my real name.
Come on, tell us his real name.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna call it. Yeah,
She probably can't pronounce it, man. She probably ain't gonna be able to pronounce that thing, man. It's something serious.
Your real name Alfonso?
Lord.
Just know Rico is a shortcut.
Cassandra Alexander Green, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Cassandra, do you have Zelle?
Yes.
Okay, give you Zelle because Willow was saying she don't have the Cash App, but she do have the Zelle. So make sure she gets your Zelle information, unless you want to give it to her now.
Yeah, I can. It's just my phone number 770.
No. I'll send it to her. Yeah,
I think I got your number, Miss Cassandra. You remember you gave it to me? Is that the same number?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's the same.
Hey, Cassandra.
My name. Yes.
Like I've always said, you have me on Facebook. If you want to talk, shoot me a message. You know that.
Okay.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Announce your meeting tomorrow too, man. If you have it.
Personal to me. Yeah, this has been very personal because this was a beautiful baby inside and out, and I just spoke to her a few days before she died, and she was excited about doing some stand-in work on she just started on a new film. So, it just hurts, it just hurts.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
thank you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. And like I said, if you need us, we're right here. We're right here. That's what family do. We stand together. We're there for each other. And that's exactly what we do. We're ready to get out of here right now. It's 10:20, man. I want to thank what's going on, Rico?
You gonna let us know about your show tomorrow?
Which one?
Public Citizen with Paul.
Oh no. He and I gonna talk tomorrow. We're gonna talk tomorrow and we're gonna set it up.
Okay, I thought you were doing it tomorrow.
No, it's not gonna be tomorrow. No. Trust and believe. When we do, y'all gonna definitely be the first ones to know. We're gonna make sure that we want y'all to come on here as well. And so he and I gonna have a conversation tomorrow. And we actually been coordinating back and forth while we was doing this here. So yeah, we're gonna talk tomorrow and set it up. Hopefully it'll be next week Saturday. Hopefully it's what I'm looking at. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK and Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:20. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, right, this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And that we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. Have a great weekend. Talk to you Monday. You guys say the same. Love ya.